Tour Junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? It is the Masters 2026 betting show. I'm your host, DB. I'm going to be with you all show long. We're going to have to pop in and out with some different guest segments today. If you're wondering what's on my face, we're going to get to that, okay? Don't worry about it. We're going to get to it. You'll see, all right? Me and Pat are going to talk about what's going on in our world with outrights and just life and what kind of crisis we're going through to have this on our face. I think Pat's may be a little more intense than mine. I may have been outdone there, but I haven't seen it yet, so we'll see how it goes. We're gonna have a great show tonight. To start off, we're gonna talk about the keys to Augusta National, the keys to success, the golf course trends, blah blah blah. And I'm gonna do that not with Pat, but with my boy Matt Every, two-time PGA Tour winner. You know him from calling golf all the time with ESPN Plus, as well as our friend Kenny McAndress, founder of the Mooney Gang, probably one of the best sports bettors I know. He is the best sports bettor I know, but probably the best one you've ever heard of. So we're going to have a great time breaking it down with those guys. We're, of course, going to talk about their picks, who they like. We're going to give you outrights we like, top 10s that we're kind of leaning towards. We're even going to hit maybe a couple DraftKings cheap plays towards the end, me and Pat. So I'm going to kick it to Kenny, myself, and Matt Every right now. All right, let's get right to it. Our boy Kenny McAndress, Kenny, founder of the Mooney Gang, joins us in his mock turtleneck repping Tiger. Thank you, Kenny. You've always been a huge hit on the show, and I'm happy to have you back this week, my buddy. Good to see you.
It's my favorite golf shirt. What am I supposed to do, dude? It's Masters Week. It is what it is, dude. The mock turtleneck is not getting more.
You just got off the phone with Trump too, right?
I did, yeah. He totally greenlit it, and he apologized for what he said yesterday. So
okay, all right, good. And then of course, back in action for the first time in a few weeks.
Let's go.
He's been busy. He's been busy. He's in high demand. We know and love our friend Matt Every. Good to have Matt on the show. It's the first major of the year. It's the Masters. We're all jacked. And it's just the three of us because Pat is sorry. So it's just the three of us. We can say whatever we want about Pat. We're going to get into it tonight. We're going to talk about the golf course, obviously Augusta National, any storylines. And then, of course, we're going to get into some picks. I'm sure Kenny's brought some bombs. And me and Pat will end the show with our picks and some thoughts there too. But looking forward to it tonight, boys. I got my a friend of mine, a caddy at Augusta, just gave me this nice hat, Augusta National Golf Club hat the other day. So I just took it out of the wrapper to wear it tonight for you boys. But I'm fired up, dude.
That one's fire, dude. If you came on here with the pimento hat, I would have just left the show.
Amen. You know, I've had one of those. Azalea, cherry blossom, whatever it is. All right, Kenny, we were talking before the show. You had a good question for Matt. I think it's an astute observation. It is Saturday night of Valero, so we are recording this Saturday night. So all you people in the YouTube comments going, "Oh, that guy's not 11-1 anymore, you ding dong," or what are we doing? This is Saturday night. Give us a little bit of grace. We're trying to get the content out to you early, but it is Saturday night of Valero. There's been a delay. Kenny, you had a good question you want to toss Matt's way to start us off.
Yeah, like again, we're not going to make this an entire show about Valero, but I am curious, man. Like it's awkward for some of these guys that are at the top of the leaderboard, right? Obviously, it's still a professional golf tournament. These guys are competitors; they want to win golf tournaments. But like the holy grail of golf is in 5 days, and these guys are stuck in the mud currently in San Antonio. Like, what's the mindset of something? Like, maybe a little different for Bob Mack. Like, you're just all gas, no brakes, go win this tournament. But like Ludwig's chasing, and then you got a couple of other guys on the leaderboard here that are in the field for the Masters. Like, is their mindset any different than any other week? Like, it's an awkward spot.
It is. I think it's an annoyance for the guys, both those guys, Bobby and Ludwig, heading into the weekend. It's going to be a long, wet golf course tomorrow. It's going to be a long day for them tomorrow. I mean, they still have 12 holes to finish, not repairing, running right through. But the issue getting back out tonight was the fairways were too wet. I'll put it this way, Kenny. If you're a guy that missed the cut and you're in the field next week, you're pretty happy right now. This is a nice little leg up, a nice little boost. So maybe a name that missed the cut is I would almost look at it more from that angle than these guys, because I do think form at the end of the day is the most important thing heading into Augusta. But and clearly Ludwig and Bobby are in good form.
Then,
But
right, I guess
it,
just
it
in a very direct way, and we can wrap this so we don't get stuck in Valero. But then in a more direct way, are you going to be down? However, you looked at Ludwig and Bobby Mack going into the
no,
Masters.
no, I'm
Is
not.
this a
No,
downgrade to them at all, or no?
no, no,
Okay,
no.
Is the weather? I mean, is the weather supposed to get better like the rest of the weekend? Like they're
no,
going to
I
be
don't
able
think
to.
so. I think it's going to be windy as shit.
Oof. Yeah, but I mean, they're
Yeah,
not going
you're
to be
gonna.
delayed again the weekend.
No, they should get it in tomorrow, all of it. But ideally, those guys will all have their jets lined up tomorrow night, ready to roll out of San Antonio. They don't want to waste another day stuck there flying into Augusta, checking in Monday morning. They'd like to be driving to check in Monday morning instead of flying and then landing and then checking into their Airbnbs. Like it's not that big a deal. And I'm sure both those guys have been up there doing some scouting trips anyways. So I wouldn't handicap them any different heading into that
Fair
next
enough.
week.
Um. So Matt, real quick before we get into Augusta, what are you doing for Augusta and the coverage this week so the people who are
Uh,
adoring Matt Every fans can find you?
yeah. Uh, I am down at CBS HQ in Fort Lauderdale, just doing the updates for CBS HQ. I won't be in Augusta, unfortunately, but that's
Yeah.
where that's where they want me. So that's where I'll be. It'll
Well,
be fun. I can't wait. It's one of my favorite tournaments of the year. I know it's your favorite tournament of the year.
yeah.
It's one of the few ones if I'm wasn't working, I would watch. So this is gonna be awesome.
Well, we're obviously going to talk about the names on the board, talk about some storylines going in. To talk about the golf course briefly or anything else in terms of handicapping this thing,
Yeah,
I mean, we don't have to go into, a ton about the actual course. We know Augusta National, they're so consistent every year. The weather here looks like it's going to be close to perfect, a little cooler maybe than some years, that maybe cooler than average, especially the mornings. But and it could be a little breezy. I've seen some breeze coming in, which I always tell people like living here, we never get breeze. We don't ever get a breath of wind except for Masters Week. That is the
really.
only time it ever happens here. In June, July, August, September, we are dying for just a breath of breeze, wind, anything, and we never get it except for Masters Week. So I think the golf course is going to be, it always is, but, like, as good as they want it to play, it's gonna play like that. I think it'll be firm and fast. Um, so I think the weather's gonna be perfect. Conditions are optimal for Augusta National. So, other than that, and just basic, golf course knowledge, what are the angles, Kenny? Do you have any, like, from a betting standpoint, any questions we need to toss out to Matt, or a group thought, group discussion on angles to bet? Or are you like are you a trends guy? Do you read like the trends articles that help you narrow down a player because he doesn't check this box or he didn't? You know what I mean? Like we see those circulating this time of year.
Not even remotely. And dude, I couldn't be happier that this is how you're teeing this off. I feel like we got like some telepathy here because like I
Well,
have like
good.
a scorching hot take that I want to just fire
Oh,
out here and let marinate, and it's totally related to this. Like, yeah, all these trends threads are out everywhere, right? Like 9 of the last 10 winners did this, and pretty much it's
Yeah,
like if you took all these trends and spit it into AI and had it summarize it for you, it's like, yeah, like good golfers typically play better at Augusta than bad golfers. It's like, all right,
yeah,
thank you for your eight tweet thread.
yeah,
Look, I get that this is it's one of the most nuanced courses ever. Course history, stickiness, and I think above playing the course, I think just like getting a Masters under your belt, the overall experience of it. Like I think that there's an element to that, right? So I get the experience factor. My scorching hot take is I think we're going to see a debutante take it down this year, and I
oh
think you're going
gosh.
and I think you're going to see more debutantes win the Masters going forward, and I'm going to tell you why. I just think, dude, the way that golf has advanced over the last decade, younger players are better earlier, and the technology aspect, right? The access to it. These guys can play Augusta on their simulators in their basement now. Is that the same as standing on the 12th green for the first time on Sunday? Like,
No.
absolutely not, right? And you can never replace that. I think this tournament every year, all of the trends guys come out of the woodwork and remind you these are the guys that can't win. And I think more often than not, that's obviously correct. I think this is the year that trend buckles. It's going to be a weird year. It's the first Masters in 30 years. No Tiger, no Phil Mickelson. If you want just a weird, different type of shit's going to happen this year, again, it's there for the taking. Scottie seems vulnerable. Rory seems vulnerable. If you're Xander Schauffele, there's never going to be a Masters that's more for the taking than this one. So I think a debutante could take it down. I know that's not Xander, but it's just going to be a weird year. And I think all these trends are going to be meaningless the longer we continue to play
Hold
this tournament.
on. I got a trend that will back up that point for you, Kenny. So the last four leaders of the FedEx Cup going into Augusta have won the Masters. That would be Jacob Bridgman this year.
Oh my.
Dude, I love it.
That
We'll talk about Bridgman because
that is
I don't know how you don't bet Bridgman. I don't know how.
that
I
is
I
such
just
a
interviewed him for the drop like yesterday.
that is such a I work for the PGA Tour stat that you just dropped,
It
Matt. Like
really is. It
there is
really is.
nothing more. What a
Fair.
company man! What a
Totally
company
fair.
man you are.
Totally fair.
Uh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, Kenny coming in hot as we expected him to do. Listen. I respect it, sir. I always respect it. I guess I fall a little bit on the side of like I like reading the trends. I like thinking about the trends. For me, the trend that always just matters is like we do see experience, which is the exact opposite of what you're talking about. Like there's just something about this place that guys just can't figure out right off the bat. And it's talked about every year, I know, and I do know that the game has changed. I agree. I mean, a lot of things have changed about how guys play golf now at a young age. So at some point, we could see that reverse course. But
And even
um,
even just on the data too, like I know you have some great relationships with guys in the tour that work with players, right? Like there's just the abundance of data that's out there, right?
yeah,
A
yeah,
guy playing the Masters for the first time 7 years ago steps up to number 3 and is like, "Am I laying up? Do I hit driver as far as like
yeah,
what do I do here?" And now you get a guy with a calculator behind him telling him exactly what to hit. Again, does that make this course playable for everybody? Absolutely not. I just think little by little as the game advances, as technology advances, I think it has to chip away at somewhere. And to me, I think that'll eat away at some of the experience stuff. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a weird year. And you know me, I like weird, dude. I'm a weird
I
guy.
love it. Any other thoughts like other than the stats and the course info? Any other big thoughts from you, Matt, in terms of things to be paying attention for, maybe not necessarily players, but just what it takes, what you need to think about as you come to Augusta or you get ready to play in your first Masters or your 10th Masters or whatever it
Well,
is, the
I'm think
mindset.
I'm thinking I'm thinking about the weather. And if you said it's perfect weather all week and slightly on the cooler side, to me
Mhm,
that would mean this place is going to firm up. Then you
mhm,
look at it from two different angles. The tee shots go farther,
mhm.
but the greens are harder to hold. So do you take a high ball hitter? Do you look at a high ball guy like Ludwig, Cam Young? Or do you look at a guy like Bridgman, who's not the longest off the tee, but if he hits fairways and has a solid game plan and kind of Zach Johnson's this place, is it right for the picking for him? That's kind of where I'm at right now. I think of a uh, an area of the game here that goes maybe overlooked a little bit is around the greens. And maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but I think it's very important. Like guys when they were in their prime that were not like the best ball strikers. They didn't win, but they put like Kuchar always played good here. Phenomenal around the greens, like with his the shallowness of his strike. Jonas Blixt finished second here one
Oh
year.
my gosh.
He is like one of those.
Jonas
He's
Blixt,
not a
dude.
good
Let's
ball
go.
striker, but like, do you know what I'm saying? Like that
Yeah.
there's something to that. So that might be a an angle if you're between somebody, maybe lean a little bit towards the guy that's better around the green. Hideki, does he fit that mold? Like there's
Yeah.
just I don't know. I feel like you could go a lot of different ways this year,
Well,
especially with Rory and Scotty being vulnerable.
yeah. You talked about the greens firming up. Apex Height is making its I think its first 2026 appearance in the Bet the Number model this week. It is on the Apex Height and the ball speed, especially off the tee. coming into play here. Being able to hit the ball high, stop the ball on these greens, especially when it firms up, is important. We know that. Around the green, also a pretty heavy weight in the bet the number model. Um, so I've dropped a model myself on bet the number. I like mine a little better than the BTN model, but I mean, I'm partial. You can check that out. Obviously, all the course info is on bet the number as well. We're looking at some of that now um, on the YouTube version of the show, but I definitely want to, before we move on to like looking at the board, I got to shout out our friends at Bet the Number and the whole hangout. The whole hangout is going to be the place to be. We're looking at it on screen now. When it goes live on Thursday, every hole on the golf course here, they're going to have some 3-hole stretches that'll be featured on the broadcast. They'll have some special things for Amen Corner, for those holes, the featured groups holes. You'll be able to bet live, get live data on here. You can see the historical data. You can get the historical weather, wind direction, pin position. This is going to be where you attack the live bets for the week. So shout out to our friends at Bet the Number who have created the whole hangout. I know we've
And DB,
all
look, it's like I know
enjoyed
that
it.
like this is part of your baby, so like this is something that like you have to talk about at every show.
Hmm.
Unprovoked, I just want to be very clear. The single best application to bet the number is what you're looking at right now. Like
Yeah.
if I use it for anything, it's this. And I have fried like 4 different DraftKings accounts because I keep nuking hole props, and I'm working on finding more DraftKings accounts. But like, forget the DB sales pitch. All right, he's going to tell you whatever he wants because he has a stake in it. This is the single best application
This is
of
true.
bet the number. If strip away everything, this right here is really, really, really good.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenny. I'm thinking about these. I'm looking at these greens and these hole locations. Matt, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. As a player,
Eh,
having played this golf tournament a
yeah.
couple times at least, what's like an underrated green and underrated pin position for either like birdies or like a big number that you just think about when you think back in your playing days, you're like, golly, like obviously everybody thinks about 12, everybody thinks about Amen Corner. But, like, is there a green, a whole location you're just like, "Dude, I remember if I
Yeah,
saw
like
that."
13 front lefts, I think is like one of the scarier, sneaky, scary hole locations.
Mhm.
Does that make sense to you?
So right here in the
Like a
A
lot of
spot at
yeah, like
13?
like
Yeah.
like there. It's just
Mhm.
I know there's a lot behind it, but it's just for whatever reason, I
I mean,
always
that
thought
whole
it
thing slopes
was
C to
awkward.
A, right? The entire thing just goes down a mountain.
Kinda,
Yeah,
yeah.
and to the right. But it's a it's a green you want you that is begging for a cut into it off of a side slope where the ball is 6 inches above your feet.
Yeah, the average birdie number on 13 goes down when you put it on pin position A, so the data would agree with you. Good
Remember
stuff,
Tiger
yeah,
putted it in the water there?
oh my gosh. I forgot about that. It's easy to do. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think 13 is just amazing, and I don't when do they put it on A? What day of the week do they usually go there? They mix it up a little
Thursday
bit, I guess.
Thursday or Friday.
That's how you know about it?
Yes.
I
Uh,
mean, DB, like the only thing that I want to say is like I do feel like assuming that you have like some semblance of golf knowledge and you've watched golf and you've been on tournaments before. I honestly think this is the one tournament every year you can kind of just scrap models and it's just like close your eyes. Can you visualize this person
Mhm.
donning a green jacket and it's
Yeah,
and just be brutally honest with yourself. I
yeah,
just think I think if you do that every year, I think year over year the number of people that you could possibly visualize it's going to vary. I think this year I can truly visualize probably like 50 guys, and I think like not that again, not that the whole tour is so deathly afraid of Scottie, but if you're one of these middle of the road guys, I'm sure it's demoralizing when you show up to an event that you know that he dominates at when he is in superhuman form. It's got to be refreshing for that next crop of guys to come into this like, hey man, like if there was ever
yeah,
a time,
yeah,
this is the time. Look, it's the professional golfers and it's the masters. It's not like guys have been not fired
yeah.
up coming into it in the past. I just think it's got to be a bit of a different mindset this year. Like I can fucking win it this year.
yeah. I think that makes sense. So let's talk about it. Let's look at the top of the board. Let's look at the odds. Scotty's obviously the favorite at around 4-1 or so. Um, spoiler alert, me and Pat are going to talk about this later on in the show, but I'm a little confused by John Rahm here at this number.
Same.
I don't understand. Like, I know, on Live, he's done whatever, but I don't know that how much it really matters. I mean, he's finished runner up, won fifth, and runner up in 5 events, which is great, I guess. But I feel like that was the first name that was like that jumped out at me as kind of a misprice here. Um, Thoughts on Scotty, Rom, and Rory? I'll kick it to you first, Matt.
I'm out on all three.
Are you?
When you sent me the script for the show and asked for five outrights, I skipped right over those three, and I
Okay.
noticed the same exact thing you just said about Rom. I was a little
Yeah.
surprised at what was it, 8-1, like,
Yeah.
or 9-1, like
You can get
it.
there's tens out there. You can get a ten.
Okay, still,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not at that price.
Kenny, what about you on those three? Obviously, you're out on Scheffler.
Yeah. Am I going to bet him at 10? I haven't decided yet, but I disagree with the sentiment on Rom,
Okay.
and this is coming from somebody who is like, again, I don't dislike John Rom, but I would say
Right.
in the in the grand scheme of things, I'm probably more of a Rom hater. Just I've never really bet on the guy, just typically because of his price, and I don't know, like I've never been the world's biggest fan, right? So I'm not overly biased to want to go to bat for him here, and I think at first glance, I get it. You look at the odds board, you see some of the guys that are behind him, and you think about it for a second. Like I've watched a good amount of his recent live action. Like, dude, I think his game is at a level that I think a lot of people don't really appreciate right now. And I also think he has some serious fu energy to everybody in the golf world right now. I think he wants to come out, blast Masters, and again, am I going to do it at 10? I don't know, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad price. And I do think like the Rom single bullet is
Kenny, do you not
it's
think
lingering.
he's
It's lingering.
do do you not think he's had that FU energy for quite some
Yeah.
time now, though?
No, but dude, I feel like I don't know, man. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm this like body language expert, right? And I don't watch all the live in the world, but I wasn't buying into him in any of the recent majors. Just like from how he looked when he saw him at live, how he sounded in press conferences and stuff. It's just like it just something just seemed a little it seemed off. And as of late, it just seems like you're getting the old fiery scary looking John Rahm. And again, I talk about all these guys that like they look at this like, hey, the door's creaking open right now. And I think above everybody, I think Rahm is looking at this like, uh, I can come in and just steal this.
Can I?
Yeah.
I think some of that's just he hates his life at the moment. Like not really because he's got all that money and he's got an awesome wife and kids and he's whatever. But I think he truly wrestles with the decision that he's made. And I wonder if like he could go from that fire, that like baseline level of irritation or like fu energy, as you said, it very quickly could change to full on like meltdown because we've seen him melt down. We've seen him lose it a little bit. So like if you're going to win the Masters, you're going to have some adversity on the golf course, and if that happens, is he going to be able to like keep it together?
Didn't
That's
in
what makes
fairness,
me.
didn't he double bogey one the year that the
Yeah,
year that he won?
yeah, but that was a few. That was like what, 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
That was
I don't know.
22.
Like I feel like
That was the year me and my dad and my brother came down.
that's right.
I know because I asked Gary Player who was going to win the Masters. He told me John Rahm.
We saw him. We see him at Champions that day.
Yeah, we saw him at Champions.
Uh, I just I feel like the longer he's been stuck on Live Island, the more irritable he seems to be. And he came out kind of irritable to the tour because he was the young, hot, fiery Spaniard, and then he kind of mellowed, and you could see him maturing. And then he went to Live, and he was like seemingly pleased with his decision the first year. But I just feel like it's kind of waned, and I think you.
Then I
I
leave you
think
with
he.
this. Then I think we've seen the low. I think it's boomeranging back. I think it's going to come back in a heavy way. And I think the only thing he needs more than anything right now, man, I think is just some validation. Like I think he believes that everyone has forgotten how fucking good he is. And if he's sad about his life, well, I think his life would drastically improve with another green jacket. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm talking too much about a guy that I haven't bet on yet. I just
Okay.
like if you just gave me $1,000 and said who's winning this week, like I think Rom is one of the first two people I might say.
Okay, give me before we get to who you think is going to win, or who you like, who you're leaning towards in terms of outrights. Let's do this. Pat and I did this as well. In the range from Scheffler down to Fitzpatrick, tell me the one guy who is not winning. Not all of these guys can win. Who's the one guy that your
I
call is not happening?
I have Rom
Okay,
as my guy.
Kenny,
I got Matt Every.
Well, I'm not
Bryson.
in that range, buddy.
Bryson.
Bryson. No shot.
Oh, no
Matt, is
shot.
Bryson one of is Bryson one of your 5 outrights?
He's not on my no, he's not on my card.
Okay, clearly he's not one of Kenny's either. All right, give me the Bryson logic there. Why is Bryson not winning this year? He's won back to back live events.
It's not happening.
Okay,
The end.
all right,
He's never going to win here. And
never.
contrary to my Rom thoughts, I'm a Bryson guy. I love Bryson.
Yeah.
I eat up his YouTube channel. I'm a fan. I just that dude.
Okay.
You can't print 3D wedges and win at Augusta. Like it's not going to happen here. I don't think you can do it for 4 straight rounds. I think every Masters he plays, there's like a 50-50 shot he shoots the low round of the tournament. I just don't think
Yeah.
he can tie it together for 4 rounds.
Can I say my reasoning for Rom? I actually had this, Kenny, before you backed him. I think there's maybe such a thing for a guy that's wired like he is, trying too hard, and you know, pigeonholing himself onto live. He only, let's be real, he only gets 4 chances a year to compete if there's not a Ryder Cup, and this is one of them. And it's like, man, does he put too much pressure on himself? I'm not doubting the talent at all. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I know he's world class. I know when he's good. When he's got his A game, he's one of the top 3, 5 guys in the world, no doubt about it. But I just don't think he's done himself any favors, and just kind of the way he's wired.
I mean, dude, the temperament is a fun part of this. One thing I want to see in the trends is like 9 out of the last 10 winners are like very calm guys. Because you know what I mean? Like there is something to that. Like who was the last like fireball to win here?
Sergio, literally Sergio.
Sergio. Yeah, probably should have had Sergio.
He's Captain Fireball or whatever. Was it
Let's
Sergio?
get into
Let me
it.
think about it. I'm trying to think. Is there anybody after Sergio that's been a little fiery? It is Sergio, isn't it?
Like it's Tiger. I guess Tiger. I mean,
Tiger, yeah.
Tiger.
But he was a little more of a house cat when he won in 2019. All right. Give me here's how I kind of want to do it.
Okay,
I want you to just throw out all 5. You got 5, Matt?
I do.
Hit me with all 5 and then we'll break them down.
I won't say their odds. I'll just, or do you
Okay.
want the odds with them?
Nah, they're gonna change. We can talk about it a little bit if you want.
Okay, I've got Ludwig, Cam Young, Jacob Bridgman, Patrick Reed, and Akshay Bhatia. And if I had to add one more, I might add Bobby Mack.
Okay. Okay. Kenny, any thoughts on do you have any of the same guys that Matt has?
Not yet, but there's a really good chance I'm gonna have probably 2 of them. Because I've only bet. I mean, technically I've got 1 bet in so far, and it's one that I got in a while ago that I wouldn't even know if I bet it at the number I got. So I'm not even gonna talk about it. I got Homa at 180. So I got 1 name that I haven't bet yet, but I am 1,000% betting. Like the second the show's over, I'm gonna bet it, and then I'm gonna go fire it. But I'll get to him later. But I'm going to add a few more. And like 3 of the guys that I'm strongly considering are Bridgman, Reed, and Akshay. Reed would be the, probably like the one lower number guy. It's like if I don't bet Rom, I might get to Reed. If I bet Rom, then that probably eats up all my sub 50 stuff. And then Bridgman, dude. I just think if it's a trend busting kind of year, I don't know how you don't do it. But I know he's on. Matt threw him out there, so let him talk about Bridgman first. But I couldn't agree more.
Well,
So
I mean, go ahead.
yeah, of all the debutantes, I guess Bridgman is probably coming in the hottest form right now, right? But I mean, major experience. He's played 4 rounds in major tournaments, and they were both last year. Played 2 rounds of the U.S. Open before he went home, 2 rounds of the PGA before he went home. I mean, we're talking a major trend buster here for sure. Not just lack of Augusta National experience, but very little major championship experience. Is he a different player right now? Probably.
I think he
Um,
is.
yeah.
I think mentally he's in a really good spot. He ain't worried about going up there. I talked to him because he qualified for this, getting into the tour championship. So he could have come up and played a couple scouting trips between then and now. And he'd only been up once, and it was with a couple buddies, and it was like basically entertaining. Um, he said he's just gonna go up there with his caddy, make a game plan, and stick to it. He feels really good about his game. Dude, that guy has when's the last time he's played bad? I mean, it feels like forever.
Yeah, it was
And
the
look,
fall. It was
and you talk
RSM.
about like, you talk about the, lack of major experience. And there's a couple ways to look at this. Like number one, like he's been on the tour for a
Yeah,
year and 3
yeah.
months, right? So he hasn't had a whole lot of at bats here. And it's like, okay, I get that like signature events aren't majors, but like when you say major experience, you're like, okay, experience in super big dick events. It's like, all right, well, he played great in Phoenix, almost won Pebble, and then came out and won at Riv the next week. Like I'm not getting the vibes of somebody who's like afraid of the big shot.
I think he's got some dog in him,
A
Bridgman.
100%, dude.
I do. He's a basketball player. I know that might sound silly, but like there's a little bit of toughness there, at least to me. I mean, that's not normal for most golfers.
Yeah.
Mentally, it could go, I just think he's
Is
not
he the best?
scared of
Is he
those
the best
guys.
putter? Is he the best putter ever? Like he might be
Pretty
the best
freaking
putter
good.
ever.
Who's his caddy, Matt? Does his caddy have some experience around Augusta?
Yeah, he's a really good buddy of mine. He caddied for me for a little. His name is Gerald Cable, GW.
Okay.
And he's like got the best energy ever, just always upbeat, positive, looks like vanilla ice. Um,
How long's he been on his bag?
a while. He's been on his back since he got out of college. And
Oh
GW
my
used
god.
to work for a lot of guys. He worked for Chris Kirk for a while. We caddied for Kirk in the President's Cup, won with Kirk. Um, caddied for Marino. He's caddied for quite a few dudes.
God, he caddied for you and Marinos.
Oh yeah.
That's a couple of
He's caddied
characters
for
there.
Willie Mack. Oh yeah, he's an animal.
Oh my god, and the guy's not in jail? That's unbelievable.
He's the best.
Um, all right, so here's my thing with Bridgman.
Okay.
If I'm making a decision to bet Jacob Bridgman at 94 to 1, like, why would I take Bridgman over I'll throw out just a few names. Cam Smith at 100 to 1. Um,
Dude,
Kurt Kitayama.
I actually I had a plan to talk about Cam Smith in a
Yeah.
positive way sometime down the show, but to put him in the camp of Bridgman is insane.
Well,
Like I'm
listen,
not.
I understand the form, but this is Augusta though, and I mean, listen, if you opened up the show and said you think it's going to be a trend busting kind of year, and that's all you have to say to defend any of the things I'm going to talk about here, because if you think that's if you think that's happening this year, it's a weird year. I get it, but the trend is also like, how many times have we seen veterans at Augusta National who have a great record around that place come in mid form, or
Every year.
maybe it happens every year, and like I don't really know about Cam Smith in terms of how he's feeling about his live decision. I feel like he's probably a little more okay with it than maybe Rom. He's not playing very well on live. He still leads live in putting. He's still the number one putter on live by a mile. He's got a couple T8s this year on live, for whatever that's worth. But his record around this place, his ability to like spray the ball off the tee is not gonna be an issue here. And at 100 to 1, it's like the same number as Bridgman. If we're talking about to win this golf tournament, not to top 10, but to win. Like Cam Smith and Kurt Kitayama jump out at me right there, and it's really tough for me to click on the debutante's name, who's really hot right now. Really tough for me to click on his name when Kitty and Cam Smith are right there in the same spot.
The only thing that I would say is I if you are going to value the experience thing, wouldn't it be the opposite? Like I think Cam Smith is more likely to top 10 than Bridgman. I just think Bridgman is more likely if one of these guys is going to win. I think Bridgman's more likely to win than Cam Smith. It's like it's either he catches lightning in a bottle or he misses the cut and Cam Smith just plots his way around with as a veteran does here in top 10. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, but like we also see. I guess like obviously it's really hard to win. Only one guy out of this whole thing's gonna win, but you do see debutantes like, I mean, I think Ludwig, right? Didn't Ludwig
Yeah,
finish
he
runner up
almost
his
won.
first year?
Yeah.
Like you see that happen, but there's something about closing the deal at Augusta late on Sunday. I mean, we've seen the best in the world, even Rory struggled with it for forever until last year. Something about closing it making the right decisions, missing in the proper spaces, calming down, like being in that crowd on Sunday that maybe just allows a debutante to have a great finish like that, but can't quite get them across the finish line for whatever reason. And maybe that's just like magic I'm making up on my own. But so I don't know. Like I actually, if I had to like put a lot of money on one of them being in the top 10, I think I might actually pick Bridgman instead of Cam. But if you're making me pick an outright, I trust Cam, a major winner, a guy who's been down been down the road with Augusta National before, to close the door and like finish it. I trust Cam more. But I mean,
Are there,
obviously they're long shots.
are there any stats on just in the last year or two, like overall driver usage? Like I'd be curious to see. Like I know like there's a couple holes like you have to be a crazy
7.
person, other people do it, but like some guys will pull driver on 7. It's like fuck, dude, the fairway is really tough. I'm probably gonna miss it anyway. I might as well try to pipe it down there. But like are guys year over year getting more aggressive off the tee here because they're getting more aggressive everywhere? Is that translating to here as well?
I don't know if I've seen any data on it. I mean, I don't know, Matt. You can maybe speak to that. I don't know where.
I
I
feel like
mean,
7 is, I mean, that's a driver. I
it's a
mean,
driver hole.
yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
driver.
some guys hit 3 wood on 2 maybe to turn it over.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets firm, obviously that changes things, but I don't see a lot of 3 woods out there at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause I just think like the course is going to be tough no matter what, but I just think of like some of the tougher holes. I mean, it's just because of like some of the sheer length, like the tee shot on 5, the
yeah,
tee shot on 11, and it's just like I'm just imagining like Goddard up having 9 iron into 5. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious to see like I feel like every year there's the constant discussions about the driver and the rollback or whatever. Then like Augusta has enough defense that it doesn't get that far. And it's like if the
Yeah.
conditions are mint, like if is this the year someone goes out and shoots 23 under, not 23 under, but like I don't
No.
know. I feel like we've had some iffy conditions year over year. I wonder, as is this is the tournament that brings the driver conversation to a head when Goddard goes out and shoots 19 under.
I think the 23 under thing or whatever you just said, Kenny, would only happen if this place was soft. Like
Yeah.
if it doesn't rain, there's no way guys are getting to
It,
20.
and it's not raining. It's
Yeah.
not raining. Um, so we got a little bit of rain today. I mean, for like literally like 30 minutes of rain today, but that'll be gone by tomorrow. Um, so no, I think it's going to be firm and fast. I think we could see a single digit winner.
Wow.
I mean, right? Like, isn't that
Yeah.
what we see sometimes
Well,
with
if it's windy, I mean, yeah.
and a little chilly, like in the morning at least, and and a little breeze with those firm greens. I mean, I don't see it getting much. I don't think we're going to see like 13 or 14 under. I think we're going to
Let
see
me
under
ask you a
that.
question, Matt. As someone who is, you're now a part of, you're part of Big Off. You're a part of the PGA Tour. If they could twist their mustache and they could hand pick a winner, who do you think? Who does the tour want to win? If they can come out here and
The
Oh,
for
tour,
like, if they could hand pick a winner that was like
that's
in their
that's a
best
great that
interest,
is a great question because
who
I
is
don't
it?
know if there's a clear cut one right now for that. Um,
Lud,
that's kind of where I was
or
going. Oberg.
what about Brooks?
Okay,
I
so Brooks was on the edge of my card of making my top 5. He was probably the 7th guy that I looked at and I guess this is getting ahead of things, but he's a top 10 bet for me.
I see Brooks. I raise you Reed. I think Reed would. I think Patrick
The
Reed coming out.
PGA Tour, the PGA Tour does not want Patrick
Oh,
Reed to win. I don't
yes,
think.
yeah,
Yeah,
Patrick
yes, they
Reed's
do.
coming back to the
He's
PGA
coming.
Tour.
He
Let me tell you what
Yeah,
Patrick
but
Reed
not.
did, and let me tell you what he did, and it's gonna do him a ton of favors. When they came out with those rules where the 4 guys were allowed to come back, they had that little grace period where they could commit to come back. Patrick Reed was not part of that deal, right?
Yep.
He's off the live.
And
I'm almost positive that he was told, "Look, man, you finished whatever you finished on the DP last year and you barely played. Why don't you go make it in the top 10 over there, or whatever, however many cards they give for the PGA Tour over there, and get back that way. You get back on your own. You kind of, I think that's a
Earn it.
great look for him. And Kenny, you talk about that FU energy from Rom. I think there's way more FU energy from
100%.
Patrick Reed. Way
Yeah.
more. I mean, that guy. Well, I mean, is he flying under the radar going into this week? Probably not. I know a lot of people are talking about him, but he'll probably convince himself that he's flying under the
Like
radar.
he
Guarantee it.
played too good. He played too good on the DP World Tour, and it nuked his number, and it got him on everybody's
But I
radar.
think DB, I think you're wrong. I think the tour would be like,
I just
where
don't
else is
think
he
they.
going to play next year?
No, yeah, he's going to play on the tour next year. I mean, he's number
Yeah,
one in the race to Dubai standings by a mile right now. He's
I
already
think he's
won
going to play in the
twice.
tour this year. Like,
Um,
isn't he
I,
eligible?
I'm just saying, like, do they want him? There's no way the tour today, next Sunday, would rather Reed win over Golden Boy Ludwig
All
or
right, ready?
Tommy Fleetwood or
Next Sunday.
Brooks.
All right, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But all right, then now that I've thought about this, as we've talked about it, maybe a little too long. I think the answer, truly, I think the answer is Jacob Bridgman or Chris Gotterup. I think if you're the tour, you want one of your budding stars on his way up, but not there yet, to explode themselves into a brand name. Like, you don't need Jordan Spieth. Like, Spieth. The answer is probably Spieth. If we're being honest,
That's the answer.
the
You
real
just
answer
hit it.
here. The real answer here is Spieth, but in the absence of Spieth, like, you already have your established brands, like guys like Spieth and JT. Even if they faded, like, they're still established brand name guys. You need to elevate the Bridgmans, the Gotterups, and the next crop of guys into these brand name guys. They need to win events like this to do that. So, but the answer is now, as we're talking about it, Spieth. Oh my God.
By a mile.
What do you, Matt? We've talked about Spieth on this here program a couple times this year. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
on Spieth this week?
I don't know. He didn't even come up on my I mean, it's been forever. That's kind of where I
Okay.
stand with him. It's just been forever. Like, when is it?
Can I make the case for him?
Yeah. Are you going to bet him?
I'm gonna wait. If I get a better number, I will. I'm seeing like 40 to 50s out there. DB, you kind of seeing the same?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I can get a bit of a better number, be like a boost somewhere, I might do it. The thing about Spieth is, like, all right, like, after the kind of like the downfall after his major run, like, when the form completely went to shit, every year, no matter what, like clockwork, he still showed up here and he still played really good. He hasn't contended here in a while, but, like, even in the worst form, 5 straight missed cuts, he's rolling in here and he was T9. Like, I feel like, so it's, you talk about, to shit on my idea about debutantes and experience doesn't matter. Like, experience clearly matters, and he's a prime example of that. I think the form is also sneaky a lot better than the people are willing to give him credit for. And to me, dude, it's just the approach, right? Like, when he was starting to find it last year, like, you can tell he wasn't trusting the wrist. Like, the last couple of years, he's been driving the shit out of the ball. Like, he's hitting his driver better the last 2 years than he was hitting it in the mid 2010s when he was rattling off majors. He just didn't pair it with any semblance of approach game. Last 3 tournaments, his approach play has been dialed, absolutely dialed. And what I like to see there is you're seeing a smidge of, on the far right there, that ARG and the putting, those bright green, those are the magic beans, the Spieth magic beans that has propelled all of his success. That has been missing. So if you pair that with some good approach play and a driver that's been better than average, at least it was last year, it's been a little leaky this year, I think Spieth is absolutely in play. I just think at 40 it gets a little tough. But like, I don't think, it's not just casuals talking about Spieth this week. I think he's absolutely in the mix.
All right. I'm fresh off of watching every shot of Ludwig, Bobby Mack, and Spieth the last 2 days in San Antonio, and
I know.
those guys are just. I know
Hitting
it's a
it.
scoring, kind of a scoring thing with Jordan, but that matters. Like,
Yeah.
scoring matters. It just does. Bobby Mack's, you know, as we film this, I mean, he's leading right now, but he's missed a ton. I feel like he's missed 2 or 3 putts inside of 6 feet that I've seen this week, and he's still just running laps around these guys. And Ludwig is striping it right now. You look at those two, and then you think of Spieth. It's like, man, I just. And I mean, you got to When's like we've talked about this. I feel like the last couple times I've been on, like being able to win is a thing now. Like when you have to win. When's the last time, Kenny? I think you brought up. When's the last time Siwoo Kim has won? Like stuff like that. Like
What was Speed's last Harbor Town?
yeah.
Yes.
Is it 2022? I'm scrolling at the number. I think it's 22. So yeah, dude. So like that's the one argument I typically make against
Yep.
guys, right? So I don't want to, I don't want to contradict myself too much here. I just the final pushback, and again, I think 40 is a tough number. I'm not going to do it, but not that the form has been out of this world, but the form has been good. This is probably the best form he's had coming into a Masters in what 6 years, maybe.
To go on the other side of that of my take just now too, like to be fair, if there's a knock on Spieth, I think it's uncomfortable tee shots he struggles with. So like in off the left wins, if the dog leg's working another way versus an opposite win, you know what I'm saying, for a right hander. And Augusta, we know you can get away, you can play out of the trees out of Augusta for the most part, like because there's no low lying limbs. So maybe there's a little bit of an equalizer there, but I can't get there with him this week.
Kenny, toss out your outrights. So you talked about you teased at least one more.
Yeah, so if you haven't picked it up because I said his name a bunch of times, but at 50-1, dude, I didn't think coming into this tournament after the year he's had, I didn't think I was going to get a 50. I'm taking Goddard up at 50-1, and I know that every time I come on the show, I just talk about Goddard up, and it's like it's
Yeah, you
not
do.
it's not intentional, dude. Dude, your tool is literally called bet the number. I'm betting the number, dude. You're giving me Chris Goddard up at 50-1 on a course that I think he can drive to death, debutante this, whatever. A star is born. I think Chris Goddard up is absolutely in the mix at the Masters, and I think him and Cam Young are legitimately the same guy. Just Cam Young has played Augusta a few more times than Goddard up, and is that worth a 200% discount? I don't. Me personally, I don't think so. And I wasn't going to do it until I saw how he played in Houston after his last win. He really cooled off, which is understandable, right? Like, adrenaline dump. He goes to Pebble. I think he birdied his 6 holes at Pebble, and you're like, holy shit, is this going to happen again? And then from that point on, he is totally cooled off. You look at the ball striking stats; they haven't been there. He started to find it again at Houston. Again, his entire game is built off the driver. He's just like when he's going to contend, he's going to gain a shot and a half off the tee every single round, and he didn't do that for a month straight. He went to Houston, and I think he gained, at least 1.5 every round he played. Approach is a little leaky. I would like that to be a little greener. But again, I think when he won Sony, he lost on approach anyway. So I get the argument against it. Hasn't played here before. I don't care. I think this dude's as good as it gets. I'm betting him at 50.
T3 at his last major at the U.S. Open. The guy's won 4 times in a calendar year. I mean, in the last 12 months is pretty. And like, Goddard's kind of a I don't know. Like I like the kid. He's a little to me. He's like just smart enough to like not shit his pants and just like kind of just like Neanderthal his way around here. That I think might pay off for him. It's a little DJ, right? It's a little DJ in here. I like him. I really do. I like him. I would love to have a beer with him. I think we would hang out. But I'm just saying, like, I think he's got kind of a good mentality for it too. And I mean, golly, he can hit that cut like on the hard driving hole. Like I think about 11, right? Like that nasty just hammer cut he hits off 11 with complete abandon with no fear of going left is going to be nice on
And
a couple
if
of
it's
hard
firm, dude, I'm
holes.
more inclined. Like I try not to get into this like too deeply, but like if it's firm, I like it even more because he can hit 3 wood on a lot of holes if it's rolling out everywhere. And I know that his natural shape is he's a natural cut with the driver. He can hit a draw.
Yeah.
You saw him hit a couple. I think at Waste Management he hit a few, but he wants to hit it. He wants to hit it left or right off the tee. So if he can hit 3, he can hit 3 wood on 2, which we said earlier. If it's firm enough. So at 50, I got to do it.
Matt, what do you think? You're squirming over there.
Yeah, I mean, he predominantly works it left to right off the tee, right? I'm just not crazy about that at Augusta for whatever reason. I'm not.
Don't you think that's kind of been debunked
11,
though?
you don't
Dude, so
even.
does Scottie. So does Scottie.
He does.
Yeah.
No, Scottie's different. Um,
A little bit.
Yeah, it's true.
I just coming from a fader, I never was comfortable there. I never was. I think there's more holes you have to turn it on. 11, you don't even need to fade it. You don't need to fade it on 11 anymore. The tee's so far back, it's like a straightaway tee shot, basically. Um, yeah, that would like for me with obviously Morikawa is back, is a lot of people are gonna not even gonna go near that, but that
Yeah.
would also hold me back with him as well. Like just the predominant left to right ball flight for whatever it's worth. I mean, I could be way off on that. I also think that's why lefties play good here is because they can stand up there and hit that big old wipey cut like an
Yeah.
Akshay or Bobby
I,
Mack. I
I
mean,
was going to ask you,
those two
y-
are like ripe at those numbers. I almost feel like you have to bet both of them this week.
Matt, you mentioned Akshay, and he's on my short list to maybe bet. Can you go into him a little bit? Why he made your list?
Well, he's
Because I
won
love
already.
Akshay.
He's won already this year. He's got confidence. He's putting good, and he hits big golf shots. That's another reason, and and the number to me is crazy good. Um, I I don't know. This could be a hot take. Like I think Akshay Bhatia's got a better chance to win this thing than like John Rahm. But uh, and the numbers are just so different. I really like lefties here.
He's played in 2 Masters, made the cut in both. Ball striking's been bad, both of those years, but short game has actually been what's kinda bailed him out, which is crazy. I mean, the irons have been really strong for Akshay to start 2026. I mean, it might be one of his better stretches. I mean, I'm just scrolling looking for more yeah, I mean, like, in terms of just consistent green numbers on Bet the Number, this is the best 4 to 5 week run he's ever had from an iron, like, ball striking standpoint. I mean, the worst iron performance he's had since I'm scrolling, since the 2024 Wells Fargo, I'm sorry, off the tee performance. The worst off the tee performance since the 2024 Wells Fargo was the API, and he won. It's like, yeah, he's kinda showing that he's kind of a complete player right now.
Yeah.
So I like it. I wonder about, I mean, obviously, he's got some experience around Augusta. He's very young. Um, we forget how young he is because he came out so early, but Akshay is interesting. I mean, you might get me there. I'll just teaser alert.
I think I'm there, dude. I've been edging this entire show, and I think I'm finally bursting, dude. I gotta do it. I can't not. If Matt's in, I'm in. Akshay
Well,
Well,
Batia.
let me give you something before Bay Hill. Was talking with my buddy. He's a rep out there for I won't say the company, but I was like, "Who do you like this week?" And he's like, he's was just Akshay. And see, I was like, "Do you like Siwoo or Akshay?" And he's like, "Dude, I love both of them," but he's like, "Akshay is striping it right now." I don't know. Give that, and he's got a big win under his belt
yeah.
now. Confidence has to go a mile for him. I could just see it. Like you, Kenny, you talked about closing your eyes and picturing who's winning. I could totally see Akshay putting on a green jacket Sunday.
That just that shiny toothy smile.
Without
I see it right now, man.
without looking, what do you think his best finish in a major is?
Probably not great now that you bring it up.
I'm trying to think if I can remember him mixing.
How many has he played in?
He's played in 2, 4, 8.
Like a T15.
I don't even know if it's that good. Is it that good?
That's Matt Every almost dead on. T16 at the 2024 US Open.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously counting on the level up. You're
Yeah.
counting on a
Yeah.
different Akshay right now.
Yeah. I mean, winning the Arnold Palmer that's a level up, is it? Like
Yeah.
is that yeah?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, a level up from whatever he won before that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he'd
Like
not
the
won a signature yet.
Barracuda and
Yeah,
what else did he win?
He won Valero. That's how he got in 24.
Valero. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a level up from there. I would imagine.
I know that because I had him. That was when Denny shot like 28 in the back nine and ran him down and went to a playoff.
Yep.
And then Denny duffed his chip into the water. I know because I was 5 edibles deep tailgating WrestleMania with my brother in Philly.
Tailgating WrestleMania, God,
It was awesome. It was one of the best days of my life.
dude. If I were 5 edibles deep I would be 6 feet deep in the
They were
ground
they
in a
were Hulk
box.
Hogan. He's like, "You want any Hulk Hogan gummies?" I'm like, "Dude, I'll take all of them." Like, how many?
Did you rip your shirt in the parking lot?
Yeah, exactly.
R.I.P. Hulkster.
No,
Mm.
man.
I mean, also, like, Akshay almost won the Players last year. Remember that? Wasn't that last year?
Yeah, didn't he shoot a wad on Sunday?
Is that better than winning the Valero, being T3 and almost winning the Players? Which one's better?
No,
Probably
winning
made,
is better. Winning is
Okay,
he
better.
probably
okay.
he probably made more money T3 in the players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
probably.
winning is better.
Okay.
You should have won. You almost won Pebble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kenny, any other outright leans for you before we get into some top tens or anything else? That's probably it for you.
Nah, that's it. Also, just checking the other one. All right, I mean, all the Masters odds just locked on a couple of. Now it was only one book. I
Interesting.
was like, did somebody big just withdraw?
Huh?
Now again, I'm clicking Goddard up.
Okay.
I'm almost certainly going to click Akshay. And again, I'm holding like a really really old Homa ticket. If anybody wants to buy a Homa ticket, 180 to 1. And a couple other names that I'm debating, but not there yet. But we can talk about them in the next part.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, throw out a couple names that I mean, the way I talked about it with Pat was, and I'm this is really difficult. Normally we don't have to break up the show like this, but our schedules are also crazy. It's nuts for me here in Augusta trying to get out of here for Masters Week. Pat's issues, Matt's crazy PGA Tour demands. God bless Kenny for being as patient as he has been today. But normally we can all do this together. I'm having to bite my tongue on some of these names because me and Pat are going to have discussions about some players
Yeah.
after this segment, and but
Fair
there's
enough.
some
Let's go
synergy
to
and
the top 10.
there's some synergy and there's some disagreement that I'm finding interesting. So the way we did it was like a couple top tens or placement bets that you like that you couldn't quite get there with the outright, but you do think you could get there on the top 10. Kenny, I'll toss it out to you to start.
Yeah, a guy that has no shot at winning, but I think can play well here. Again,
Jacob Brissman.
I got a few. Grazerman, I kind of like Max Grazerman here. He played last year was his first. I know he played very well last year, and I think came in with like negative infinity form and actually showed out here. Look, you don't know what you're going to get with him. And this dude has 58 in the bag on any given round of golf, and he's got mid 90s as well. I mean, like he's just a total wild card. But I kind of like a bit of a wild card here. So I like Grazerman. Another guy I think just boring can kind of just plot his way around this course. Probably get 0 shots in the main feed. You won't even know that he was in the field, and you're going to look at the leaderboard and he was T11. Sam Stevens. I think Sam Stevens is going to show up and play some good golf this week. And did you find one more? Let me give my one random live bomb. Carlos Ortiz. Give me Carlos
Oh,
Ortiz top 10. He's way down the board.
God, is he in the field? Yeah, he is, huh?
yeah, he
I was
is.
sad my guy Bel Esther wasn't in the field. I was going to bet on him to piss in Rays Creek again.
Yeah, that's right. He did do that, didn't he? What's Ortiz been doing this year on? Because he was all right. So he's got a 13th, a 42nd, a 6th, a 21st, and an 8th on live this year. So a couple top eights and a T13. I've always liked Carlos Ortiz.
I just think he's good.
Yeah,
That's the worst analysis you're going to get. I just like the dude's really good at golf. He doesn't win a ton, and he's on live and that doesn't really do media. So like there's not really a whole lot to latch onto. But the dude is a flusher. I think he can totally show up here.
played in one Masters that I can see, missed the cut. He's got a lot of major championship experience, although nothing great to write home about. The T4 at last year's U.S. Open was his
USA,
best
yeah, he
finish.
was. I think he was in the second to last group last year. And
Yeah. Okay. Matt.
All right. I got for my top tens, a couple that aren't that steep. Adam Scott, I have plus 365. I think he's playing some of the best golf of his life right now. Um,
Just aging
le-
like a fine wine.
he really is, man. And he's in it.
It's unbelievable.
Yep.
you guys are like moaning. Jesus, turn it
I
down.
mean, what do you expect, dude?
He's a babe.
Dude, could Adam
Um,
Scott win? Like he is
Yes,
dialed right now.
he could. He's
yes, he
playing
can.
some sick golf. He was in Jacksonville this whole week out at Pablo, and I've played with him probably, I'd say a few times in the last 3 or 4 months, and it's freaking pure, dude. I mean, I played with Ludwig, a week and a half ago, and they're both special, man. It's hard to tell a difference. Adam is pure as shit right
How
now.
so?
He
How
is.
how how old is Adam Scott?
He's 40. I missed him in college. I want to say he's like 47 or 8.
Like who's the oldest? Who's the oldest
He's
player to
45. He's
Who's the
45.
45.
oldest player to hold a tour card? Like, is there anybody in the last 15 years that was like 58, that was like, top 125 and retaining their card year over
I don't
year?
know.
Because
Did
like he can hold his card until he's 60.
Did Stricker go into? Oh, for sure he can. Yeah, for sure he can.
Nah, Stricker turned 50 and immediately went and just dump trucked the
How old?
Champions
How
Tour.
old is Justin Rose? Is he older than Adam Scott?
They're like the same age, I think.
By the way, Scott turns 40. Golly, this is crazy. They're the same age. Rosie is 2 weeks younger. They both turned
Wow,
46 in July this year.
that's crazy.
I
My
mean,
other top
Phil,
10, Brooks was my other top 10, by the way.
So you're drinking the Kool-Aid?
I just think like he's been playing good golf, and it kind of goes back to I don't know, like he's been peeling off good finishes on the tour, these 10 to 15th place finishes, and more than half of those guys that have been beating him, they're random players that are just playing good that week. They're not even going to be here this week. So he's I just have a feeling at the end of the week he's going to find his way into the top 10. And then I have a bomb top 20 bet. Sammy Valimaki.
Yes. Hell yes.
Sammy.
Why not? I mean, made the cut this week at Valero. So hey, he's not playing terrible. And at plus 560, we'll take it. Look, Valero, I know length matters a little there, but it can get a little hairy off the sides there on the tee. I mean, if you're a guy that battles foul balls, so clearly he's doing something right.
All right. Can I throw out one more bomb name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I was looking for a very specific market. I was looking for top South African. I don't see it just yet, but
Oh,
I genuinely believe, I think Aldrich Pocketer can lurk. I think he can.
I was going to say, there's no way Kenny is on the show today and does not talk about Aldrich Pocket.
Look, in fairness, man, I pick my spots with Pocketer. As much money as this guy has won me, like I keep him in the chamber. I don't bet him all that much. First time I clicked him all year was Genesis, and he was, I think, in the final group. So I usually have a good pulse for him. The short game mastery that's required to win here is so far beyond anything he's remotely capable of. So like, I get it.
Yeah.
He's not going to win, but I think he can go up there and literally just drive himself into a T17. Like I think he can, like DFS bottom of your lineup type of filler. Like it's just he's missing the cut or he's going to top 15. So
yeah.
I don't mind that call at all, Kenny. I don't mind it at all. I know I gave you grief. Any last thoughts, closing thoughts, any other bets out there you're looking for? Kenny, what's your approach to like just the board in general Masters week with all the movement you get? Like, when do you get it? There's probably not going to be a lot of weather. There's really never really a weather wave advantage, rarely out here. Just the for the newbies or the beginner bettors out here, like what's the way to approach the board for the Masters?
I think before you open a sports book, I think you do as much research as humanly possible. Get a pen and paper and just start writing names. Maybe just give yourself a bit of a framework, because I think too often people go to the book and they work backwards off of like what's available. Give yourself a starting point and then go look for stuff. Like one thing that I'm going to be looking for, and one of the final things we can, I think it'll be a funnier market this year. Like top senior, Phil has been minus 140 in the top senior market the last like 5 Masters. Without Phil, like number one, how many seniors are now in the field, and who's going to be the favorite? Like Mike Weir? Like who's because
Hey, El Pato's back this year.
Oh yeah. All right.
But I think number one, I think do your research with in the absence of looking at anything, and then next, whatever books that you bet on, go just scroll through everything that they have, because there's going to be a million more markets this week than you're going to get on a typical week. Like whatever markets you could have bet on the Valero, there's going to be 5,000 variations of that this week. The books ramp up stuff for the majors, and it's awesome. So there's a lot more stuff to bet on. You can get way more into the weeds. then lastly, I'll just say make sure you're taking advantage of promos. Every single book is going to feed you promos this week because it's their biggest golf betting week of the year. So, like, it's an easy week to, like, fire a lot of bets. You want to spread the board a little bit. Do whatever you want, but like, get organized. Document all the promos that are out there, tie them to some of the bets that you know that you're going to want to place, and then let it rip, baby. Let's have a week.
I think the top senior is probably going to be VJ. I was looking at I was scrolling. I mean, VJ played on a PJ, made a cut on the PJ Tour this year, didn't he? Did I dream that?
Yeah, he took the
Sony.
Yeah, Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might be VJ. Do y'all have a read on any of these amateurs, by the way?
I got a question for Kenny. So for small field, and then obviously Augusta, history matters a lot here. It feels like we see this a similar leaderboard throughout the year like a first round lead market with a small field. The closer you get to Thursday, when you can kind of see the weather, if there's a pattern, like, can, are you a guy that's like narrowing in on like a certain time frame? Like, okay, the guys that are teeing off from 8 to 10:30 have the best look today, and now I'm gonna only bet those guys for first round lead, and then I'm gonna cipher
Yeah.
away a few guys and kind of work that way. Is that how you look at that?
So I don't bet a ton of first round leads, but last year we got a shitload of first round leader promos, so I probably will this week, and that's exactly what I'll do. Now, like, more often than not, and again, I know DB looked at the weather a little bit ago. Like, if there's not much of a wave advantage, like, there's only so much you can do, but that's at least where you start. Like, if you can split the field in half immediately, do
Right,
that.
and it's a small field with 20 guys that have no effing chance
No chance, exactly.
to do it.
So you could do that, or I think you could do what the most profitable thing is, and it's just bet Justin Rose. He's been first round leader here, like I think like 5 times in the last 15 years or so.
Well,
Like,
Charlie Hoffman's not in the field, so yeah.
John Houston's not playing anymore.
Hey, Matt, I would ask you this. So if I look ahead to Thursday and I'm looking at the weather right now, what would you rather have as a player? Okay, would you rather? This is just for Thursday, first day, so it hasn't been drying out all week, but no rain all week. You get to Thursday. Would you rather be the guy that goes off early and you got to deal with your first 4 or 5 holes being, in the mid 50s, mid to high 50s or low 60s in terms of temp, or you
Mhm.
go off at 11 and your lowest temp is 70, but it's a little firmer throughout the day? Like, which one would you prefer?
That's a
Or do you think
great
it's kind of a
question, dude.
wash?
And it's probably close to a wash. I mean,
will that
my
vary? Will that
back would
vary course to
say.
course?
What do you mean? Wait, say it again.
Just yeah, I shouldn't have cut you off. I'm sorry, but like, does the actual course itself like depend on that? It's like, if the first 2 holes, if there's a really weird par 3 at number 2, and it's like, all right, but if it's colder, that sucks. But if it's soft, I can stick this. Like, I guess,
No, I
does it
think
actually depend on the hole?
that's a good point. I would lean towards the 11 o'clock and warmer temps. And just even if the wind picks up a little bit, that's fine because of the kind of that reason there. Like, is too reachable at 8:30 in the morning when it's 55 degrees out and no wind.
Mhm.
Be
Yeah.
close, probably, but I mean, it's definitely reachable when the ball starts bouncing and it's warmer later on. Yeah, I think I would take the later one, but that's a good question.
Yeah. I'm not a huge first round leader market person either. I've always found it to be kind of just chasing just wild stuff. Pat likes it a little bit. We've had a few hits over the years, but usually stay away from it. But there'll be a lot of fun live betting this week. I can tell you that in on the whole hangout at Bet the Number in our Discord, Kenny's Discord. Kenny, tell the people about the Mooney Gang and how they can find more Kenny McAndress if they want it.
They can find me on Twitter. I don't need to hoot and holler on your show, man. It's Masters Week, and it's an honor to be here. They can find me wherever. I haven't hit a bet since got her up, so I wouldn't be rushing.
Dude, I haven't hit. Well, more on that to come in the segment that you're about to watch with me and Pat as we talk about our cold streaks and we pull out an old faithful trick that is in the years allowed us to get an outright when we've been in a drought. So,
You guys are
if you guys
actually
don't
gonna
have
say you're actually gonna put that on the internet, what that is?
I know. Well, we've already done that, so we've already put it out there before. Um, so yeah, I'll kick it to ourselves if you guys don't have anything else going. Any final words?
Where were you?
Let
Where were you in
let's
Alger Pock Eater? Don the
let's hope
DJ.
Akshay wins.
Yeah, actually, it would be great for you guys. I don't know that I don't know that it would help me very much, but I do hope both of you watch the rest of the show and you see some of the names we talked about and even some of the random names that came up here where it
Yeah.
was interesting. So everyone enjoy it. I'm gonna kick it to me and Pat and some ridiculousness for just it's year 11. We'll do whatever we have to do to get an outright, and here we go. All right, everybody. Now it's time for me and Pat to go through our picks. But before we do, we're gonna give you outrights we like, top tens, some DraftKings 6K bays. But before we do, listen, you're wondering what we're doing. We're hiding our artwork from you and each other. Neither one of us have seen what's going on. We could have the same thing. I don't even know. But we we wanted to try to switch up the mojo, guys, because it hadn't been good. You've been following us, you've been trolling us. The trolls are winning right now. The trolls are winning because we haven't hit an outright. We can't hit an outright. We've come close. We've not come close. But we can't do it. And we are recording this on Saturday before Masters. I got one guy running. It could be Hisatuncia. Pat, do you have anybody kind of running close right now or no?
I think I have Hisatuncia.
Okay. So Bobby Mack and Ludwig are kind of running away with it at the moment. Hisatuncia's I think 6 shots behind. Probably not happening. But if it does happen, it's because we did this anyway.
Yeah.
But we're it's time to switch the mojo. You guys know we've done this before in the past. I've done it once. Pat's done it once, I think, and it worked. We hit an outright when we drew something on our face and talked about, how we need to change some things. So, Pat, I think Pat's is more interesting than mine. So I'll get mine out of the way. Pat, you ready for me to show?
Yes. Yeah. Oh
Do you see
my!
what it is?
That looks like a butterfly.
No,
wait. Is that a dragonfly?
it is a dragonfly.
That's a
Pat.
dragonfly. Okay.
Did you know that a dragonfly spends sometimes up to 5 years of its life trapped at the bottom of maybe a murky pond or a creek bed, crawling through the mud and the muck, looking ugly and eating filth? But when the time is right, it crawls out of that muck.
That's so beautiful.
And it violently sheds its pathetic exoskeleton. It pops out 4 wings, and it takes to the skies. And Pat, did you know this? When a dragonfly takes to the skies, it then becomes an apex predator. Did you know that?
Apex.
Did you know?
That's an important word. No, I did not.
An apex predator. Apex is an important word this week. Did you know that the predator assassin dragonfly has a 95% hunt success rate? 95. So consider my time in the mud over. Okay, I'm crawling out. After months of wallowing in the dark, murky swamp of missed outrights and Sunday close calls and busted tickets, the metamorphosis is complete. I am shedding my pathetic outright losing exoskeleton, and I'm doing it just in time for the Masters. Out of the mud, the wings are out, time to hunt.
It's so beautiful. It really is. And I really like this this dragonfly idea. Now, did you draw the dragonfly or did you have someone draw it?
No, I did not. My wife drew it again. She's like, why are we doing this? I have an Easter lunch to go to here soon.
Yeah, why are we doing this? We've done this for 11 years and we're in our 40s now and almost 50s, and this is what we resort ourselves to at this point.
Yeah.
And after you see me, it's even more ridiculous.
I have a feeling because I've caught a glimpse here, but hey, look, this is what we do for the people. We do it for us. We do it for the people. We're ready to win some money. We got to do it, and it works. It's worked every time.
Well, I did not draw what's on my face.
Okay.
My beautiful special stepdaughter did, and I'm gonna cut it to her real quick so she can tell you.
Oh, okay.
What it is that she's doing.
Are you ready for your Glock?
Yes, because I can't hit a winner.
Don't worry, I got you.
So DB.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
So guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I got a glow up with a unicorn.
Yes.
With a
Yes, you
unicorn
did.
and glitter. And you know what else? You know what else? Green and white painted nails.
Mm,
You know, she
okay.
said you need a glow up. If you're going to hit a winner, you need a glow
Yeah.
up. And so that's what I did. And you know what? Why not get a unicorn glow up? Because a unicorn is a fabled mythical creature that is rare. It is considered a treasure to find one or see one. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
DB, I need all of those things to hit a winner. It's rare for me to hit a winner. And so why not find the
A
unicorn?
winner would be treasured.
Yeah, it'd be treasured. Find the unicorn that's on my face. Now, it's not a, that's a sticker unicorn. As you can tell, that isn't a professionally,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
isn't, a child kindergarten drawn unicorn.
Yeah.
But yes, young Hattie Grace, she did a wonderful job. And there's glitter around it, if you can see that. So
I see a little glitter in your eyes.
yeah, everybody needs a glow up, DB, every once in a while,
Yeah. And how old are you, Pat?
49.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This will be the last show we ever do, guys. We hope y'all have enjoyed this last 10 and a half years.
Yeah.
You look good, though, Pat. Your Caleb Williams nails look great. If you're out there, maybe you see Caleb and he's out there watching golf, and you guys can.
We only had time for one hand, by the way. This hand's fine,
Yeah.
but this hand.
Well, that's good, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which is. I don't know if it would be better to do both, or it clearly looks like you're not trying to do it if you just do one.
Yeah.
But good for Hattie Grace. She did a great job. I'm sure she enjoyed that. And listen, this is what we're doing for the people, man. I mean, it's just time. So we got to get into it. It's Masters Week. You and I's favorite week of the year. Everybody's favorite week of the year. But it is Saturday, and
Yeah.
I realize that, outright markets can evolve and opinions can change. But we're going to get our 5 favorite outrights, our 2 favorite top 10 bets that are not outrights. And then we're going to talk a little DraftKings 6K bays, Pat. So here's how I want to do it. Instead of going back and forth, I want you to hit me. Hit me with your 5 outrights all at once.
Okay.
Let's talk about them. And then I'll go. You're on the couch right now. You're laying down. You're telling me what it's going to be. I'm interested to see if we have some similarities. We did do the rape whistle buddy bet of the week, Alex Noren, this week, and he's playing fine, but it's not great.
Yeah.
So that's not working. So maybe we'll have some synergy here, and that may mean both of us could win.
Yeah.
So go ahead, hit me.
All right. I'm going to start up at the favorite that I like. And I'm not going to talk Scottie. Look, is what it is. Here's my favorite 5 right now. Okay. Bryson at 11-1. Ludwig at 17.5-1. The weird numbers again by DraftKings. Xander at 18.5-1. Yes, I'm staying up here at the top because I really do just like the top of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Then if I go down a little bit, okay, I'm going to go to Hideki at 39-1 and Patrick Reed at 45-1. Those are my 5 favorite outrights.
Okay.
Bryson,
talk.
Bryson, Ludwig, Xander, Hideki, Patrick Reed.
We have 3 of the same outrights, Pat. 3 of the same.
Wow. I feel like that's we're together already. The dragonfly and the unicorn. The dragonfly is flying around the unicorn right now, just saying,
Yeah.
happy
They're
as
riding
a lark.
together.
Happy as a lark. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about the 2 names. I'll reveal the 2 names that we do not have similar. Let's first talk about Hideki Matsuyama at 39-1. Tell me your thoughts on Decky.
Well, I mean, we all know that Hideki has a good history here with a win. He followed the one up with the T14 and the T16. The last couple of years hasn't been great. I mean, he did have a top 25 last year. I think this is more for me. There's a little bit of a gut play in it. He is 15th in the BTN model, which I like. and I know we'll dive more into the model, but obviously his approach play is always very good. His ball striking, he's been good around the greens. His putting, he's top 20 in the field in putting right now. We look at just strokes gained putting in the model mainly because on bent grass, you really just want to look at great putters. And Hideki, I think, fits the mold lately. He had a great start to the year. We were both on him. Yeah, we were both on him. He had a really good start to the year. Kind of fell off a little bit the last few weeks, but I think we've seen this with a lot of players. They get to a place that they love, the game just comes back into form all of a sudden. Max Homa was a great example of that last year, but he really did have a good start. I mean, he had that second place at the Waste Management. Really should have won that golf tournament. 8th at Pebble Beach right after that. Has kind of limped home the last few weeks, but yeah, I think the way Hideki plays this golf tournament, his ball striking, and I like that 39-1 number. I mean, I feel like that's pretty good value for a guy like Hideki. So, yeah, I think if I'm going a little bit longer shot, I'll take a chance at 39-1 Hideki Matsuyama.
Yeah, I agree. I looked at Hideki a little bit, and I think form with Hideki is a little, as long as it's not atrocious, I don't think it really matters. And we talk about that like at the top of the show with Kenny and Matt, how Augusta National is maybe not the place that you want to come in to try to find form, but if you're a veteran who's just kind of been middling a little bit, you can get a little bit of a pull up just by coming here and having the advantage that you have around Augusta and the knowledge you have. Obviously, some of Hideki's issues come off the tee, especially lately. It's really been off the tee issues, and a lot of that has had to do with accuracy. I mean, if you think about how he lost the Waste Management, as you and I both know so heartbreakingly well, he was terrible off the tee, and a little bit wider ballpark at Augusta National, a little more forgiving. And I do think that with the weather forecast that we talked about at the top too, like I think Augusta's going to be pretty firm and fiery. I mean, obviously Augusta National can get it however they want with sub air under basically the whole golf course, but I think it's going to be firm and fiery. And I think chipping, I think around the green is going to be as important as ever, but maybe even a little more so. So I get it with Hideki. I don't hate it. I don't hate any of your picks. Obviously, 3 of them are the same. The other one that you and I did not have, and this one hurts, but we all got to make choices. Is Ludd, who very well could be winning. Who by Sunday evening could be holding up the. He could be putting on the boots there at the Valero Texas Open. I mean, Ludd in boots. I mean, hide your wives and your girlfriends. Don't let them see that. That could be bad. Nobody wants to have a dry spell during Masters Week, and if you let your wife see Ludd in boots, you're going to be cooked. But I get it. I mean, what's not to love about the guy in terms of how he's playing right now? Obviously, his track record around Augusta has been fantastic. Okay, let me say this though, Pat. When I had to make a choice, and I will say Ludwig was the very last guy off of my. I had 6 guys. He was the 6th.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of synergy there. I just went with the trend, and trends are trends, and they get broken all the time. I just went with the trend around just overall maturity, experience, and I know he's got a good record in those 2 attempts, but it's still limited. And he's obviously a smart guy. We know people on his team; they're going to prepare him as well as anybody. But for me, it was just like, all right, if you think about Masters champions, that's the box he's missing still, is just a little bit of experience. We saw it when he was in contention with Homa that year at 11, just kind of coughed it up.
Well, recently at the Players too. I mean, that's
at the Players.
Yeah.
So I am quite convinced he will be in the conversation on Sunday. But you got to make hard choices in a great field like this. Masters tends to produce, top tier winners. So we're looking at a pretty narrow group that could actually win this thing. I think Ludwig's up there, but he was the last one I had to eliminate for that reason.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I think the thing with Ludwig is, you mentioned his record. I mean, to finish, he finished second in his first Masters, and then 7th last year. He's been up there, and I do think that's experience. I mean, that helps. But I do agree there's a chance that he's in the hunt on Sunday, and it would worry me if he's on my outright card that he's going to really pull through, because he just had the Players was a good example. He had it really in his in his hands, and just kind of let it go. So, but I just like what we've seen from him lately. He just seems like in great fields he's going to be up there. I think we're going to see him on Sunday. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, I'm a Lud fan this week.
All right, I want to talk about a guy who's not on either one of our cards, but when I look at Lud, okay, and other names around him, but I'm just thinking about it with Ludwig, because Ludwig is basically double the odds of Jon Rahm. And my question to you is Rahm getting a little too much credit in the outright market? Do you think where do you fall on Rahm? Because here's the truth. I mean, he continues to have an amazing season at Live. He's finished in his first 5 events. He's finished runner up, first, 5th, runner up. So he's obviously been dominant at Live. He's a winner here, but I mean, Live's kind of dead, right? Like Live is pretty much dead. The competition has suffered greatly since the departure of Koepka and Reed, and the fall off of other guys who are still there is quite notable. I just wonder, like, if it's me, I'm pricing it Scottie, Rory, Bryson, Ludwig, probably then Rahm, maybe. Like, I think Rahm's getting too much credit in the outright market there.
No, I agree. I think that's one of the reasons I went up to Bryson, because I feel like even just in the betting markets, when you're looking at Rahm as a favorite over Bryson, I don't really see that as much. I'd rather take Bryson at 11-1. And I think Bryson too is also the one, and I know we'll probably get to him more, but I just think he's the one that
let's talk about him. I mean, he's on my card too. He's the first name I had. So
I just think he's like there's going to be somebody that was like last year. If you didn't have Bryson, you're probably like going into Sunday thinking, why the hell did I not even think to put Bryson on my card? I mean, the dude is just he's built to overpower this golf course and win this golf tournament. Now, he didn't start off so well because he didn't really know how to play it, but now he does. He's shown that the last couple of years. He's been. I mean, you have Liv probably in front of you. I know he's been won like all the seconds that you have Rahm for. I think Bryson won those.
So. Yeah, he's won the last 2 events. He won in Singapore, and then in I don't know what the last one was.
Yeah, but yeah. So he's in good form. He can play this golf course now. There was a big learning curve for him. I just would much rather have 11-1 Bryson over Jon Rahm, who I still think there's some question marks with him in this course. And I think for him, even though he's won here, I think he's got a little bit of a love-hate with this golf course, because it's not been so great at times for him as well. But and so I think that, to me, I agree. I think Rahm's getting a little too much credit. Would rather have Bryson. And that's where I would go there.
I think the key for Bryson is going to be that 100 yards and in. Not as much, I guess. Like, yeah, I think it's going to be the wedge play, right? Because I do remember what you're saying. I remember last year thinking, like, wow, it does seem that Bryson figured out something with the T6 in 2024. I mean, first of all, he got humbled after some of the statements he made back in the day. But you knew that Augusta set up to be a really good spot for him, with his distance and his ability to hit long irons and hit it high, and the ball sit down on those greens. But I also remember late last year going, having a freaking pitching wedge the same length as a 6-iron has got to hurt him to some extent, right? So I do hope that he's going to have to figure it out from 100 yards and in. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about a couple other names we have in common, and that would the next one would be Xander Schauffele at 18-1. I don't think I've bet Xander. I'm pretty sure I haven't bet Xander all year. But clearly, after kind of quiet start to the year. Played exceptionally well at the Players, and then a T4 to follow it up at the Valspar at Copperhead at a tough golf course. He's starting to look like vintage Xander, and this is like he's like the anti. He's what I think of when I think of like what it's kind of what I was going with Ludwig. Xander is at the point of his career and his life where this is when you win a Masters.
Yeah.
When you've had all the experience that Xander's had, he's been on the leaderboard plenty. He's had chances and he's been at the top of the leaderboard and lost it. He's now won majors. Like this is where you're still in your prime. You're still one of the best players in the world. And this is when it happens. And at 18 and a half, 19 to 1, whatever, I'm very interested. I think, maybe, yeah, I want to grab shares of Xander now at that current number and see what happens. Maybe it gets a little longer, maybe not, but I'm totally in on Xander. I don't know what else there is to say, but feel free to add on. Anyway, that's Xander. Any other thoughts on Xander?
No, I love him. I think that he is. I think you're right. I think he's ready to win this tournament. I think he's shown just the last few weeks. His game has really leveled up. So I think Xander is, to me, of all the people that I have on my card, he's the one I feel the best about is Xander. I think he gets in the hunt on Sunday. He's gonna close the door. I think he's gonna get the win.
Okay. The next one that we have in common, and the last one we have in common, is Patrick Reed, who left Live and is now full-time on the DP World Tour and has had an amazing season. He's number one in the Race to Dubai points. He's had a win at the Hero Dubai, a win at the Qatar Masters, runner-up at the Bahrain Championship in January, T10, his last event at the Joburg Open. You can say what you want about the competition there at the DP World Tour, but the dude's a winner. I think the weather, as I've already mentioned, sets up nicely. I mean, that's the weather he wants to see. Maybe a little wind, no rain, firm and fast. I think P. Reed is an awesome option at around 45 to 1. That just feels like a tremendous value for a player of his caliber and a guy who finished third last year and has just absolutely been. I mean, there's so many guys I would make him shorter than in front of him, but not getting a lot of love right now. Love P. Reed.
Yeah. Big fan. Love P. Reed. I agree. And he just loves this place too. So, yeah, I love my top 5. I really do. I think that there's a winner on here. I think that the unicorn is going to come.
Well, let me give you the 2 names that you and I did not have in common. The choices that I made. I think you might be surprised by one of these. After Xander, I'm just doomed here because I've bet this guy every freaking tournament he's played in, I feel like, this year, except the one that he won, which was a week ago. And that's Matt Fitzpatrick at 26 to 1.
God.
And to me, Fitzy feels in a similar boat as Xander. Like he's evolved as a player. He's added speed, which has helped him win a major. It's going to help him at Augusta. He's played Augusta plenty. Fine record around here. Not near the record of Xander, but a solid record nonetheless, and had plenty of good finishes, good major track record. He's actually only had one or two top 10s at Augusta, but I think things could turn around for him. He's hitting the ball extremely well off the tee. Last 20 rounds, 177 average ball speed, which is way above tour average, and hitting almost 69% of his fairways. That's going to do him some good there at Augusta as well. And just the major record over the last, couple years has been pretty solid. U.S. Open winner, of course, but I like the value at 26 to 1. I like where he's coming in terms of form. He's hot. He's rested. He's already at Augusta, is what I've heard this weekend, doing well. So I'm in on Fitzy at 26. I mean, you said, oh God, so are you like out, or he's just one you had to make a choice to cut?
No, he's one that I had to make a choice on. I mean, I looked at him and I think all the things you say are, why you would want to bet him this week. But for me, I don't know. He feels a little too inconsistent here. I mean, he's had a top 10 a few years ago, but I don't know with Fitzy, man. I think also it's one of those players that if he goes on my card, there's no way he's winning. It's like Shane Lowry. He's getting into Shane Lowry territory for me.
He's pretty much there for me. All right, let's talk about the last one.
Okay.
38-1, Jordan Spieth.
Now this is the dragonfly talking right now. Okay. And the dragonfly
out of the mud
is
Jordan Spieth.
It's just
I forgot my.
Is that dragonfly?
Out of
Jordan, does it?
Jordan Spieth out of the mud. The wings are out. Time to hunt. Jordan Spieth.
He's going to hunt this week. You think Jordan Spieth is going to hunt this week? Okay. Listen, you know me. I mean,
you talk about a rebirth, right? This is a rebirth.
This would be a dragonfly week. As a matter of fact, I think if Jordan Spieth wins this week, we should clip this part of the show, send it to him, and say that his logo, like his personal logo, should be a dragonfly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's done it already, but he kind of came in hot and as a youngster did his thing, but he's been in a slump, a career slump. This would be a second birth, if you will, a rebirth, a reemergence out of the mud, new wings, shed the old exoskeleton. Time to hunt. This is a perfect spot. He's been showing more and more signs of life. The irons have been really strong. I'm even looking at Valero right now, which he's not playing great. He's not playing great, but last I looked, he's 2 under for the tournament. He is 13th in strokes gained approach through the first 2 rounds. The putter is the problem right now. He's losing 3.3 strokes putting at the Valero. That's his issue. We're not looking at, like, was it last year Jordan Spieth where like the putter was just terrible. He's had great putting weeks already this year. He had a pretty bad one at the Players, but he's hitting the ball well. Obviously he knows his way around Augusta, so I'm not worried about the putter at Valero. I think this is Augusta produces these storied winners. And that's what I'm looking for. I think that strokes gained stories a little bit. Strokes gained goosebumps, right? And Jordan winning again for the first time in a while after going through a little bit of a slump would be quite the story. And I'm a buyer. I don't care what he does today and tomorrow at Valero. I really don't. I don't think it matters that much. But I think he's going to come in. He's going to come in. He's ready. He's confident, maybe more confident than he has been in the last couple of years coming into Augusta, because it's been rough. So, yeah, I'm in on Jordan. 38-1.
I mean, my take would be that I really hope you're right, because I do think it'd be a great story. I think Jordan he's just such an interesting guy, such an interesting player to watch. He's fun to watch. He's all over the place. It's a roller coaster ride. But him coming down the stretch on Sunday and having a win, putting on the green jacket again, would be quite a story. So I hope it happens.
If you
not going to put him on my.
If you look at last year, like he was coming into last year. I mean, he had a couple of decent finishes. He did have some good finishes, but he was not hitting it near as consistently as he is now. He had a couple spike weeks with the irons at Valspar, at Waste Management last year. But then it was terrible, like bright red on Bet the Number, bright red weeks for Genesis, the Players, even the Masters. I mean, last year at Augusta, he lost almost 5 strokes approach at Augusta and still finished T14. Why? Because he gained 7 with short game and putting. Like, he's going to get a bump there. And if he continues to hit the irons as well as he hit them at Arnold Palmer, the Players, Valspar, and now Valero, assuming that continues 4 weeks in a row, if he continues to hit those irons that well, we know the short game's going to be there. We know the putter's going to be there at Augusta. He's right there.
Don't you think, though, like let's just looking at the odds. I mean, if I were I feel like he should be closer to Reed at that 45 to 1 number than that 38 to 1
Reed's always
number.
longer because nobody wants to bet him. The books aren't going to get any juice
Well,
on
I
him.
know, and I get it.
Yeah.
He's getting credit because of that. Spieth is because we want to bet Spieth, but the number is it's good. It's just not great to me. I would rather it be a little bit longer for him. I think Reed arguably is a much better player heading into this golf
And
tournament,
honestly, maybe Jordan gets longer. Jordan's probably one that might get longer because it's not unless he just goes bananas over the weekend. I mean, he's 12 shots out of the lead right now before he tees off on Saturday. So unless he just loses his mind and goes crazy for the next 2 days, it's not like he's going to come close to finishing top 5 or winning this golf tournament. So that's not going to juice him. And then the names around him are, Robert McIntyre's longer than him right now and leading. So I could see maybe Spieth slipping and getting a little longer. Reed, I think, is in danger of maybe getting shorter as people like, he'll show up on people's cards because they know the value. So maybe Spieth's a good wait and see. Okay, moving on. Those are the 5 favorite outright bets. Let's talk about who's not winning, Pat. Maybe we've already talked about him. Who is not winning this tournament? Not here. This is a very important preface because I can see people in the comments. You guys are so stupid. If you think so and so can't win the golf tournament, right? Pat has a unicorn on his face. I have a dragonfly on my face. We are stupid, but we're not saying that he can't win. Anybody in this range, because we're putting the parameter at 30 to 1. Anybody in this range can win this golf tournament. Absolutely 100%. But from Matt Fitzpatrick up to Scottie Scheffler, we're saying who are we going to lay down the gauntlet and say is not winning? It's not happening. No chance. Pat, you start. No chance. There is a chance. Just not winning.
I am going to say, I think we talked about him earlier. I think Jon Rahm is not winning this golf tournament.
I figured you were going to do
Jon
that.
Rahm.
And I agree. He would be the easy one. The next one is Scottie Scheffler.
Oh, okay. Now that's
maybe I'm getting a little.
That's not Dragonfly talking. The Dragonfly is dragging.
Maybe the Dragonfly is dragging his nuts.
Hiney in the mud.
Maybe the Dragonfly is.
He might be. Yeah,
dragging his big dragon nuts all over the Scottie Scheffler outright market. No. Of course, Scottie can win this thing running away. But you know what? I don't know. Like, you look at the approach numbers. Like, it's if the approach numbers and the ball striking were really strong, but it was just like the putter was leaving him a little bit, or chipping was not really the thing. Like, I'd be like, okay, well, he's going to come to Augusta, and he knows how to chip and putt at Augusta, and everything that'll work itself out. But I mean, irons are irons. Like, you got to if you got to step up and hit a 180-yard iron shot into a 12-foot circle tier of some green at Augusta, like, you just got to step up and do it. And he's obviously one of the best, ball strikers ever, and he can figure it out like that. And maybe he's been working on it since the Players, and he's going to come out and gain 9 strokes on approach like he did in 2023. But last 4 tournaments, it's been very mid. And that's not going to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got to pick a name up here, I agree with you on Rahm. And then I'm going to say Scottie. It's not happening. And he's got a lot of guys around him bucking their head and peeking,
Yeah. I see the comments now, though.
Yeah.
Even though you gave them instructions.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you gave instructions. Y'all are such idiots. I can't believe you would say that Scottie Scheffler can't win.
All right, moving on.
Look at this.
Our favorite top 10 bets, 2 favorite top 10s that we did not mention in the outright market. I'll let you start. Give me your 2.
All right, 2 favorite top 10s that I didn't meet or want in the outright market. They are, here we go. They are going to be Tommy Fleetwood at plus 176. Mm-hmm. And then I am going to go Russell Henley at plus 255.
Henley, interesting record here. Obviously playing very nice.
He's got a lot of top 20s.
Yep, he's playing nice right now. I hear you. But an interesting record here.
Yeah, it is. Best is the fourth in 2023. I really like how his game, and I think it really. I think he loves it here. I feel good about him as a top 10 at plus 255. I feel even better, obviously, about Fleetwood, who's kind of hit or miss here too. Third back in 2024, T14 back in 2022, has played excellent this year. We had a breakout season last year on the PGA Tour. So if I've got to get two guys that I don't know or that I haven't talked about, those are the two.
Yeah, I don't hate either one of them. I'm going to give you three because one of them I'm going to bypass quickly. The one that I wrote down, we've already talked about ad nauseum, is Ludwig. I told you he was the first one out of my card. He was the sixth man. So obviously, if I didn't talk about him in the outright market, top 10, I feel like is a great bet considering his form, considering his last 2 years here. I said he'd be in the mix on Sunday. I agree with you there. Plus 154 feels solid. So I'll go Ludwig, but I'm going to give you two more and a little bit more balmy. Okay. The first one at plus 330, Mr. Minimum Woo Lee.
Oh, wow. Spieth and Lee coming out of your mouth in the last. I mean, that's I don't know what to say here.
Well, I think Minwoo has also evolved a little bit, and he's talked about it. He's talked about it with the driver. I mean, how cool to be able to say, yeah, mate, I was just like thinking about how I hit the ball and just decided to take a little off the club head speed to try to hit a few more fairways. So now, instead of hitting it 190 average, I'm hitting it 186, but now I'm hitting 64% of my fairways, and that's just helping me. Blimey, mate. Like, the guy's unbelievable off the tee so far in 2026, and that's what he said he did. He literally just figured out, like, okay, I can take 4 miles an hour off my driver swing, still hit it 186 miles an hour average over the last 20 rounds, thanks to our friends at BTN. And now, instead of hitting 55% of his fairways well below tour average, he's above tour average, hitting 63% of his fairways, which is wild. And I'm obviously, like, that's not crazy important here because there's a lot of room. And he's gained strokes at Augusta National off the tee every year he's played. But I don't know. Like, I think it's his fifth lap around Augusta. We know he's a tremendous putter. The short game's been solid in 2026. He's had some incredible finishes. I mean, runner-up at AT&T, 12th at Genesis, 6th at API, 3rd at Houston. I think a top 10. I think Minwoo notches his first top 10. He's got a T14 finish as his best finish here, and that was in 2022. So I think a top 10 at plus 330 feels like a strong value for a guy coming in with a lot of confidence. The Aussies have a great history of top 10s around here. We know that.
Yeah, they do. I like Minwoo Lee too.
Now, the next one is really going to get you. Again, Ludwig, plus 154, Minwoo plus 330. Love them. But I gotta throw out a bonus bomb. And this is purely, I mean, we know exactly what this is. This is just straight up a course for horse situation at plus 510. Remember, the field is like 90 something players, and a lot of those aren't going to come close to doing anything.
Yeah.
And it's Cam Smith at plus 510. And listen, missed the cut last year. Terrible approach play last year. But look at the record at Augusta National. That was his first missed cut at Augusta National since 2016. He's got a T6, a T3, a T10, a T2, and a T5 since 2016. Now, is he doing anything worthwhile on LIV? Absolutely not. No, he's been hot garbage. I mean, not hot garbage, but I mean T13, T8, 48, T8, T17 in the 5 LIV events this year. Okay, who cares? He's leading LIV in putting average, which we would expect. So he's, the putter is still amazing. He still can't hit a fairway, which is okay, whatever. Short game still dialed. Like he is still the player that we know him to be. It's just a matter of how much has he prepared for this, and how ready is he for the pressure of trying to win trying to compete at Augusta National. So, but he's got a lot of experience doing it here, and at 5-1 for a guy who's missed one cut and has, I mean, half the times he's played here, he's finished top 10. Half the time.
Yeah.
So,
no, I mean, I like it. I keep looking at Cam, and I like it. So I'm not opposed to it.
Okay. Let's move on. Last segment for you and me. We don't do a lot of DraftKings talk anymore, Pat. I mean, we don't, draft DFS has gotten harder over the years. It is what it is. We don't have to go into all that, but I thought, why not give the people some cheapies, some cheap plays that we like down in the 6K range? A little nod to a segment we used to do. Shout out Nita, the 6K bays. So a few 6K bays that we think could add some value to your DFS lineup. And, some of these guys might be a little chalky. We haven't said that word in a long time. Might be a little chalky, but, they'll help you fit in the Brysons and the Rorys and all those guys up top. You're going to need some of these guys because every year some of the 6K guys pop. So let's just go back and forth on this one. Give me your first 6K bay of 2026.
First one for me, I am going to go down to 6,700 DB. Rasmus Niergaard Peterson.
Okay.
He
like
is 28th in the BTN model. Yeah, and this is his first time, so he's a first timer. But if you're gonna go with a 6K bay, you're probably gonna get a first timer in here. He hasn't had, it's been a little hit or miss this year as far as his season has gone. Missed the cut at Houston, made the cut 4 straight weeks at Waste Management, Cognizant, Puerto Rico, Valspar. He's kind of been an average player on tour this year. I think he's got a really good game though for this course. One of the things you talked about, apex height. He's second in the field in apex height. He's 17th in strokes gained off the tee. We looked at that approach bucket from 175 to 250 yards in the BTN model. He's 17th there. I think at 6,700, he offers some upside there. So that'll be my first one for you.
Interesting. I did not have that one in the bingo card. All right, I'm gonna go. I don't know what to do here. I think, and I'm not a DFS expert, but like Ryan Gerard and Kurt Kitayama, both at 6,800 are right there. Kurt Kitayama's played here before. First time for Gerard. But I wonder if Gerard will be higher owned because he's kind of the DFS darling. Everybody, it's well documented how he grinded in December to get into this field and traveled overseas to play and almost won over there. But Kitty is the play, I think. Kitty is the better play with a little more, more experience around here, a little more pop in the bat for Kitty. Runner-up at the Genesis, 18th at API, kind of the best finishes lately. So I think I'm going to go with Kitty, assuming he's slightly lower owned than Gerard, and it's a slight pivot. I don't think it'll be he's not going to go completely under the radar, but a little. I don't know what people are going to do with Gerard. I feel like he's just a hot name in the streets, and that might get the click. But the lack of experience at Augusta is certainly a thing, and maybe people think about that, and I'm wrong. But I'm gonna go with Kitty. I think he's the first one for me, and he may be a little chalky, but he'll be the chalkiest one I have. All right, give me your next one.
Okay. All right, this one I don't think it's chalky. This is a Plums gut play. Going back to my roots, DB, the Plums play, but I think this guy definitely has the firepower around Augusta National, and this is cheap. I'm giving you a really cheap one. Aldrich Potgieter at 6,200 DB. I mean, look, he's played here before, missed the cut.
He was an amateur
2 years ago. Yeah, he was an amateur. He's won on tour. So he's won twice on tour. So I think that I could just see him popping for us. And at 6,200, I mean, look, his last, this year's been interesting. Miscut at the Players, miscut at the API, really good fields. T21 at Houston a few weeks ago, 5th at the Genesis. Was in contention really there. So I think there's a lot of upside at a 6,200 Aldrich Potgieter, and the guy can absolutely bomb it off the tee. He's got a lot of room. It's like, I mean, I'm not saying this is the Mexico course where he won, or didn't win. He could have won. Sorry, he could have won in Mexico and did not. But you could bomb it off the tee there. Stupid Brian Campbell won. But I do think Potgieter could do something.
It's kind of the Cameron Champ comp, right? Like Cam Champ, multiple winner on tour. Mm-hmm. he would go from like horrible form to win, horrible form to win to horrible form. It was all about course fit. But when you look at Cam Champ's Masters record, T19, T26, T10 miscut. Like and Aldrich's kind of the same way. Like I don't think form really matters right now for Aldrich when it comes to Augusta. I agree. Yeah. I think people are going to play him, but I don't mind the call. My next one is at 6,400, and it's Sam Stevens. What a nice guy. We talked to him at the Players a couple years ago. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, it'll be his first Masters, but the dude's played in 5 majors and never missed a cut. He never missed a cut he's played 3 U.S. Opens and 2 PGAs. His best finish, T23, was his last major. So he's trending with the majors, right? Like getting a little more experience under his belt, but off to a good start this year. T6 at the Amex, 16th at Genesis Riviera, 5th in Houston last week. And he's just, he's just been solid all year, checking a lot of boxes at 6,400. He's 21st in my bet the number model. Above average ball speed, above average accuracy, like just a solid player. If he's not too overwhelmed by Augusta, I think he makes the weekend. It's not as hard to make the weekend here. You need a little more than that for him to really be a 6K bay, but I like Sam Stevens. All right, hit me with your last one.
All right, last one. Hang on, let me get off of Potgieter. I was really into Potgieter, so I got to get off and go back to my starred players on BTN. Okay, the last one. Now I'm going back up near the top, BB, because I've been kind of, I guess near guard was at 6,700. But I'm going to go with, and this is another kind of gut play, but I like a guy that wears an interesting hat. I think if you're at a tournament like Augusta, you got to wear an interesting hat, and you got to have a little bit of swagger. And I think Harry Hall has that. He's at 6,900 at the very top. Harry Ho. T9 at the API, T28 at Houston. Has never played here. He's another first-timer. Kind of not great in the BTN model. But I feel like Harry Hall is going to just kind of, stride his way around Augusta and be there. And, he's not going to win or anything, but I could see a top 40 out of him. I'd be okay with that if he's kind of, my bottom end of my lineup. So, yeah, okay. Harry Hall, 69.
I'm going to end on a good one here. I think this guy has top 10 upside at Augusta National. And here's why. Averaging over around 180 mile an hour ball speed. Checks that box. Gaining strokes off the tee. Approach play's been pretty solid. Checks the box in ball speed and no bogeys. If you look at DB's model on Bet the Number, last 50 rounds, so kind of a long-term average of bogey avoidance. So who are the guys that can grind and just make par when they have to? This guy's 17th in the field in that regard. He's played the Masters twice, never missed a cut. Did not miss a cut in either one of those 2 Masters. I'm talking about a guy who I've mentioned before this year. I'm talking about Mr. Haotong Li at $6,300.
Oh,
now,
okay.
Pat, can you guess?
I thought about him. He was close.
Just guess. Take a guess how many majors Haotong Li's played in.
I know it's a lot because it's.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Now I'm second guessing myself. I'm going to say 8.
He's played in 14 majors. He's played in 14 majors. He's missed 4 cuts in 14 majors. Like, I think, he started off the year in far better form with an 8th at the MX, 11th at Torrey Pines for the Farmers. Last 3 weeks haven't been great for Haotong. Miscut in Houston, miscut at the Players, miscut at API. Don't love to see it. But when you look at the numbers on BTN, it is, and I think I've already made this argument for him this year. It's kind of borderline. It's not like they're terrible. It's just like very average numbers, and he's just barely missing cuts by a shot or two. I think he gets it across the finish line of the weekend at Augusta, and I actually truly believe he has top 10 upside. I mean, his best major finish was the last one he played in, and that was the Open Championship last year. He had a chance to win. He finished fourth. So it's his first Masters in quite some time. I think the last one he played in was 2019. So it's been a minute. The lack of experience isn't great, but down here at this range, I think he's a viable option given the major championship experience. There we go. 6K Bays. Me and Pat's picks. What a great show. Great time with Matt. Great time with Kenny. A long Masters show, but that's what we want for Masters. We're giving you all the content you could possibly want. Leave us a comment in the YouTube comments. Check out Bet the Number. You got to. I mean, the whole hangout this week is going to be incredible. We already talked about that at the top of the show with Matt and Kenny. The whole hangout's going to be insane. The live betting opportunities are going to be insane. Click the link in the description of the show or YouTube notes. You're going to want to be a part of that, and as well as getting in the Discord to take advantage of everything we're feeding you in there. It's going to be a great week, buddy. I'm looking forward to it. We're getting out of town. We're getting out of here, as folks in Augusta tend to do. But another Masters in the books, our 11th Masters show, I believe, right? Crazy.
Yeah, 11. Unbelievable. Can't wait. It's going to be a great week. Weather looks good. Excited. I get to see you, I think, for the weekend at least. You'll be back, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'll be at the tournament on Sunday. I forgot. I got map and flag tickets for Sunday.
Oh, well, I'll be out there Saturday. I don't have the fancy tickets, but I'll be out there on a badge, and looking forward to getting out there and getting a few beers or 10.
Little green cup disease. Hey, listen, the Dragonfly and the Unicorn may already be off to a good start because not Haotong. Hisatuncie has only played one hole this Saturday morning, and he birdied the first one. So here we go. We're off and running. Let's stay hot. Let's get an outright winner out of the mud.
Unicorn love.
Dear God. Hand over your bookies and may your screens be green for the Masters 2026. See ya. Out. Tour Junkies featuring David Barnett is not an affiliate of CWM LLC. Opinions expressed by the host or guests do not reflect those of CWM LLC. CWM LLC does not endorse gambling or the entities promoted by the Tour Junkies podcast. David is a non-registered representative of CWM LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. One last thing, quick bonus segment here. Matt's in Jacksonville. He's mentioned Pablo Creek. He's mentioned playing Pablo with Adam Scott, with Ludwig. Kenny, I know, is thinking about making a trip down there. I have played Pablo one time. I think Pat has played Pablo with you one time, right, Matt? Did he play with you?
Yeah.
So let's put together a little. Let's have a threesome, and put together a top 10 parlay. That if we hit it, we're all going to throw it down. If we hit it, we all meet you in Jack's, and it pays for our Pablo outing.
You got it.
Pablo.
You got it. So we're all taking one guy to finish in the top 10. We parlay it together. Boom.
Yep.
We can't do top 20. It's got to be 10.
Let's do. Well, I just want. It's got to be a big number though, Kenny. Well, can we get a big number at 20? Let's do 20.
I think if you do 20 and literally just boom, 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 like three guys that are relatively down the board, you can get this pushing 100 to 1. You can get close.
Okay. Like what's like 4 to 1 or higher at top 20?
Oh,
or
2 to 1. 2 to 1. 2 to 1 or higher, you're good.
Are we doing with ties?
Are we doing
with ties?
Yeah.
Us three.
Yeah.
Who's putting in? Like I can't do DraftKings here. So
I got it.
I'll Venmo one of you guys.
I mean,
I'll give you your cash on the course. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so we'll just put it. When are we picking it right now? Let's do it right
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm already seeing a name, Kenny. Unless you can find a better number, that you guys are gonna have to pick it. But he's slightly shorter than 2 to 1. All right, I'll let you guys go
Go
first. You
ahead,
guys go first. You're the guest. Kenny, you
Kenny. You
go
go.
first.
I think I'm going to do weirdly enough, it's a guy that we didn't talk about at all. Oh yeah, dude, this is legitimately a no-brainer. Top 20, including ties, plus 220, Gary Woodland.
Ooh, okay, all right.
Man, I don't want to be the guy. Oh my
I know
God,
this.
DB, you go.
This
You
is
go.
very
You DB, you go. You go.
no.
So Pat's not
um,
included in this.
He's out.
no, Pat's
Okay,
out.
he's
He could.
out. He's out. He's
He
out.
couldn't make the show.
All right.
I mean,
Man,
I'm wanting to get really weird here. I have an absolute nuke,
I got one.
but okay, go. You go, and then I'll round it out.
Well, he's less than 200 to 1.
If
He's
you want to
one.
take that guy, I have one that's way over 2 to 1.
Okay, Harris English.
Oh, what? I thought you were gonna go Bridgman.
Mm-mm.
DB, we need a bomb from you then, my friend.
Well, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at
Actually, you
that.
know what? Screw that. Is it too late to change it?
No, you're
No,
good.
no.
You're good.
Let's go Grazerman to juice it up a little bit.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Plus
Wow.
365 is what bet the number's saying.
I was going to go Potgeeter at plus 530, but obviously that is. I
It's
mean,
risky.
is that two out over our skis,
I
boys?
mean, that gets us to 92 to 1. 100 bucks to win 9 grand.
Is that enough? Or
Yeah.
do we?
Yeah.
Or should we
Yeah.
I
tone
don't
it?
know. You tell me, Matt. How expensive is this course?
Should we tone it down a little bit? Do we need to? Do we need to?
No,
Do we
dude.
need
Yeah,
to
I
tone
think
it
I
down?
think Podgator might be a little aggressive. Now watch it come in easy, but
Okay.
it's your call.
Okay. I tell
Like
you
I
what.
think if we're
Well,
50 to 1, around 50 to 1, that's a pretty nice lick for top 20s.
what happens if we put in Cam Smith at right at the 2 to 1? Is that going to be enough, Kenny?
43 to 1. That's fine.
That pays for it easy.
Gary Woodland, Max Grazerman, Cam Smith, all top
Pays
20,
for it easy.
top 20, including ties.
The Pablo parlay. God, I hope that hits. I loved it. Hey, fun fact: the one time I played Pablo,
Yeah.
R.I.P. We pulled up to the first tee. There's a foursome in front of us, and my buddy goes, "Oh my God, you know who that is?" And I was like, "I recognize him, but I can't put my finger on who it is." And he goes, "That's Tim Wakefield, the knuckleballer."
Yeah. Yeah. He plays with my buddy. He used to play with my buddy Robert Baker out there. They're like best friends.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, he hits it.
I got a stack of baseball cards back here. I got a Tim Wakefield autograph somewhere
Oh,
in here.
well, I watched him. We all walked up there. We introduced ourselves, shook hands, whatever. He hits a bomb right down the middle. Everybody oohs and ahs, right? And this is like back in my day where I would just swing out of my shoes and not
Mhm.
hit any fairway. I absolutely hit the drive of my life right on the Tim Wakefield line. And when I hit it, I said, "Suck it, Wakefield!" And everybody died laughing. It was the only drive I hit in the fairway. Only drive I hit in the fairway all day. But I got to meet Tim Wakefield on the first tee, and it was fun.
So you said
That's
suck it
great.
Wakefield. That's your lasting memory. Good for you. That's nice, man.
Yeah, that's what I said.
All right,
Now
good
he
for
didn't
you.
hear me, thank God, because he was a massive man, but way bigger than me. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
demoralizing when athletes of other sports, they're like, oh yeah, and here's like
yeah.
the worst baseball player ever,
Bro, I
MLB,
gotta
and they just hit nukes. It's like, God
I
damn
gotta.
it.
Speaking of that, I gotta send you guys a video. My boys' travel team had home run derby night for the parents, and it's 300 to the poles, 330 to center. I haven't swung a baseball bat since eighth
Uh,
grade, and
uh,
I fucking just tattooed one like
oh,
360.
Let's
So,
go.
what
ooh,
a feeling!
360.
And I've never hit a home run in my life because I quit baseball going into high school. I was playing
Smart man.
basketball and golf. So I
Mhm.
never really got to the big field. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
that feeling of the ball going over the fence, holy crap, man. What a feeling. Oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna bottle that up.
Dude, I bet there were some single divorced moms in that crowd that were like
Who's
just
that?
absolute. Dude,
You
Man,
it's
the guy
kind
with
of
the
funny. The
mustache is pretty
video,
good.
I'll send the video to you. It is funny. You can hear
we
it.
got to work. Can we post a video here in the show? We'll post that in the show. We'll let everybody see the ding.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get to my front side. Nice. I'm way too
Yeah,
front
you do.
side.
Yeah, you do. That's what I've heard. All right,
That's
we'll
good.
find out, and we'll find out in Jacksonville in a little bit when
Yeah, we
the
will.
Pablo parlay hits. All right, thanks, boys. Little
See ya.
bonus content for you.